All right, you guys, we are live, I think. Can you guys hear me? All right, I just got off of watching another live stream. Some of you guys might be on there or been on there. I'm going to take my sweater off. It's hot. Started out with taking out my sweater off. How's that? Oh, man, got my Star Wars hat on. All right, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the DM and friends. Uh-oh. Put this thing back on. It just fell. All right. Technical difficulties. Oh, boy. That's really good. And this came out too. Great. Can you guys still hear me? Wow, this is getting off to a great start. Mic check, mic check. Everybody hear me? All right. All righty. Well, that was bad. Yep. All right. Steven can hear me. All right. Well, you guys, welcome to the DM and Friends. And I see some people already in the room here. I see Mr. Rourke, Freezer, Stephen Clements, Jason Jacobson. You hear me? Good. Okay. How does the audio sound? Because I just had a mic crash meaning it actually crashed at the ground. Works are already up. Some bull, so I might not be here long. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're working. Well, if you can join, you can join. And we really appreciate you being here, Freezer. You're a great dude. All right. So yeah, welcome everybody to the welcome to the Saturday Hangout. I got a couple people coming on here in a few. Stephen Clements is going to be on here, and I already see you in the audience. Wow. You got the link, right? I was going to just do a little rant for, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Not a rant, but I wanted to go through some stuff before I got some people on. And this is going to be a regular thing, guys. I'm going to do a Saturday show every Saturday. It should be right after Tenkar's Gamers Health. And I was on there a couple minutes ago, just saying hi to everybody. He's been doing that show for a while, yeah, I didn't want to kind of go on the top of him, so I'm starting after him. So let me see, what did we say? Rants entertain me. Okay, great. Let's instigate Angelo mission. Oh my God. Yeah. By the way, happy Saturday, everybody. Happy day before Easter. Those of you guys that celebrate, and I sure do. Good Friday just happened yesterday, and we have Easter tomorrow, which is super cool. Grew up all my life celebrating that this weekend, so it's not just another day off for me. So anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit about miniatures. I know last week, was it last Saturday? It had to have been last Saturday, yeah. So I wanted to show you guys, we were talking about Boot Hill minis, and then there was a lot of questions that Yeah, please don't go on top of Tenkar. I know, that's pretty gross. I wanted to exactly. Good one. I want to show. So I have the other camera set up. I want to show you guys the differences in these miniatures that for Boot Hill that I have. That I'm trying to find out who the manufacturer, who kind of created these. But I have a camera set up to show you the size differences. So I'm going to make the screen bigger here, and maybe later on today, when I get others on, we'll talk more about it too. We'll talk more about these. But look at the size comparison. It's not focusing very well, but so on this side right here, guys. So this is the original TSR Western. You guys have probably let me zoom out. Let me see that. So this is from the original TSR minis, right? This is that particular one on the right that you can see. Actually, on your left, is from the original 25 mil figs, right? So it's from this box set. And I have so many of those old 25 mil figs from TSR days. But the ones that I use at cons from this right here, and I think I showed you guys the figs for that. But look at the size comparison. If you guys can see this, and I'll use a pencil to point this out. If you measure from the foot to the eyeball, these are a true 25 mil. Okay, let me bring this up a little bit. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of blurry, isn't it? I need better lighting or something. So this to the eyeball here is 25 mil, right? Look at this dude right here. It's literally, some of these figs are about 38. Okay, 38, maybe 39. Some of them are about 40, some a little smaller. But this set right here, which I'm trying to figure out what this is incredible. Look at the size of these things. I'm blown away. Like first of all, that shows me how crazy these are for the scale, because all my buildings are all 28 mil scale, and so using those, it towers over. But I love the detail on these figs right here. And I've been painting, these are 28, 25, true 25s from toe to eyeball. And these are, like I said, these are the TSR ones that came out back in the day. I can't remember the manufacturer was, but they're the box sets. The figs that I've been painting lately are all 28s, and they go really well with all the figs that I have, right? And yeah, so I'm going to be posting a video kind of showing these figures, and I want to get some help from you guys on where to, who they were, or whatever. I know at North Texas, guys, I use them there, and I can't remember who came up to. Yeah, maybe it was Jim Kitchen came up to me and says, "Wow, let's try to figure out what these are." And we asked around, sent him some pictures. He couldn't figure them out either. I guess he's an admin in one of the miniatures channels on Facebook, and I haven't got any answers. So just kind of wanted to rant about that. Side by side comparison of those miniatures up against a through 2025. I mean, I can't even believe, I just didn't even realize it until I put them side by side comparison. That is absolutely bonkers. For a con, I kind of like the big figures because it's kind of heroic, it's kind of big. heroic, meaning they're just kind of, they stand out in the scene that I do for cons. It's just, I don't know. So I'm back here. Maybe later I'll show, but I have a bunch that I've been painting recently that are actual 28s. Here's kind of a bunch of them. So my next con game, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to do 28s or 25s. So these are all coming out fairly good, I guess. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they're coming out all right for now. Still got to put a good base on them, but yeah, man, that's what I got. It's a couple other things. So how's everybody doing? How's your guys' weekend going so far? Man, I'll tell you what, I had a pretty long week of work, and was really glad, super glad, to be honest with you, that the weekend came. So but yeah, it's the weekends, they sure as heck tend to go by fast. But yeah, Fred, I do. I used to have a 3D printer, and it's I don't know. I just I messed around with something that did some kind of little pieces, and actually did a couple big pieces, and just it's kind of not for me. Uh, I kind of prefer to buy my stuff and have it all. That's just, there's a lot to it. And yeah, I've been getting a lot of stuff well, going to be. I've got a couple pieces from Thunderstruck Workshop, and looking forward to getting more stuff from them. But man, look at this guy.
What's happening, y'all? You hear me okay?
Okay. Oh, I hear you. Excellent.
Fantastic.
It's so funny, when I started, everything 7 o'clock for me came pretty quick, and I grabbed this mic. What is this called? What is this thing called? What is this?
You got me.
Yeah, arm. What do they call it?
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's not a broom, maybe an arm. I don't know. But
it's your show. You call it whatever you want, baby.
I guess it's an arm, right? It'd be considered an arm. Yeah. So, yeah, it went crashing on the ground. And anyways, how are you, dude?
I heard the crash. It was very dramatic. Your recovery was on point.
Did I make it?
Yeah, you made it. Like, we were thinking about like not inviting you to the Screen Actors Guild, but then you pulled it out at the last moment. We're like, this is part of the act. That's what it is. He's making you think something's going on when it's really happening over here. So good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm part of the Clown Guild. That's who we were going to invite you to join, the clowns.
Yeah.
But now doing good. And it's good to see y'all in the chat. Fred's dropping some good ideas about making a crusade-based adventure to retake the Holy Land. I'm for it. And I'm not even Catholic, but if the Pope were to call for it today, I'd be like, okay, all right, well, I'll become Catholic to take up the cross and go liberate some stuff from people who shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
But it's a good time. And when we were messaging before this, and in case we haven't met before on the live stream, I'm Stephen Clements, a writer, editor. I've got my own YouTube channel, Rumble channel. And I was the guy to be Angelo's first interview to ease him into it, and he did fantastic.
Yeah.
But you said there was going to be a rant opening this thing up for like 30 minutes, so I was like, I got my popcorn, and I've been over here just getting the salty goodness, and then you're talking about some miniatures for what, barely 15 minutes, man. I was promised a rant.
I was going to do a rant, but then I was kind of, I was on the edge of, I want to get Steven on here. So I mean, that's more entertaining than having you on here than me ranting about stuff. So,
It's your show, man. I mean, come on, people come here to like see you, right? It's not just your guests.
Yeah.
Um, but now you ain't checking it out on us, are you? Were you gonna say some spicy stuff, and now you're like, oh, I don't know,
No.
Steve, come over here. You'll say spicy stuff.
Yeah, no, nothing spicy. It was more. I was going to go off on. I was going to kind of get into some. Uh, just start talking a little bit more about Boot Hill and stuff like that. But we can still do that together. So you don't need just you don't just need me. So yeah.
I hear you. Now, see, I
Who do
got
we have
some.
in the? Let's see who we have in the comments. So it looks like Matt Sherman is here. Good to see you, dude. Good, yes, Matt Sherman. Matt Sherman. Let me tell you about him, guys. He was the first person to become a supporting member of the channel. So hats off to you. Thank you so much. And then he kind of opened the floodgates, and I think Blair Blur was number two, and then yeah, 44 people after that. Which by the way, guys, I really appreciate it. It helps maintain the channel. It really does. Freezer is here. Freezer.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. No,
And
Freezer.
so both Freezer and Big Matt Sherman, Matt Jacksonville Sherman, they're going to be in a basic Dungeons and Dragons introductory adventure I'm going to be running on Tuesday, and it's probably going to go 2-3 weeks. And it because Freezer, he's played a bunch of role playing games, but he's never actually played D&D. And I was like, dude, we got to fix that. And I've got a module I've ran like 12 times, love it. It's a perfect thing to teach Dungeons and
Yeah.
Dragons, the best edition, basic rule cyclopedia edition. And we're going to do that. And so yeah, the two of them are in on it, and
Yeah.
a couple other friends. I think another guy from Freezer's Discord channel was jumping
Oh,
in.
good.
And
Good.
then I
Very good.
got at least one from one of my regulars, Mickey Fight, out of an undisclosed location in East Tennessee. You can't know where he's doing the shaking and baking, because
Why does
he
that
doesn't
sound
need
familiar?
to what.
That sounds familiar to me, Mickey. You said,
Yeah, Angelo Monk, good to see you, bud.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a good time. It's been a great adventure. Like all 12 times I've done it, I would be shocked if it
Oh,
goes poorly now. But see, a thing that Freezer's not getting about basic D&D, he's already thinking of, oh, I want to worship the Raven Queen and be dark and goth and get screwed by were rats. And I'm not kidding
yeah.
about that last part. He's really emphasizing on that. But Raven Queen is an abomination of, I believe, fourth edition, and she's really horrible fanfic that somehow made it into publication, because she always happens to like Mary Sue her way into the coolest things ever, and people can't really touch her, and she gets away with whatever. And yeah, she might lose something, but then she decides that she didn't want it anyway. Raven Queen, lame, lame.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of
Play
queens,
Halfling. Yep.
Stephen, remind me. I want to get to who's popped in really quick. But I do want to piggyback on what you said about queens. But Clockington, good to see you. Thank you. He talks about using printers. Yeah, I used to have a 3D printer, and I donated it to a place where they could use it better than I could. Yeah, I think it was a good choice because I'm not. I don't know. I'm not a big 3D printer person, even though I have a lot of stuff and I buy stuff and I love it. Yeah. So Mr. Rourke, Mr. Rourke is here. I gave a shout out to Matthew already. Good to see you, man. Agile Monk is here. I just saw you a couple minutes ago on Tenkar's stream. So thanks for jumping in, man. I appreciate it. It's always great to see you. Um, Always great to see you. He says rules compendium. So you're using the rules compendium in your game, or are you using BX?
It's
Beckme, what did
the Rule
you use?
Cyclopedia version.
Rules
So the
Cyclopedia.
last iteration of
Yep.
TSR basic D&D.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a copy of that. I've actually ran. I mean, it's Beckme basic. It's all the same stuff to me, which but I love it. I love how it's all put together. I think it's a great volume. Great volume.
Oh
Great.
yeah,
There's a couple of tweaky things in there I don't think should be in BX, but or Rules Compendium, or however it's classified, I guess. I don't know.
that's a
But
great thing about the old editions is they're so cross compatible that a
yeah,
little difference here, a little difference there isn't going to make any real difference.
yeah, exactly. Um, what was Rules Compendium kind of a just a mishmash of all three of those, or was it, or actually two of those, or was it just kind of all of Mentor stuff put together? I mean, how do they classify that? Because I've always kind of been a little like, how? Because I know there's some things that are not in his Beckme stuff, and then there is a lot.
So the Beckme stuff, basic, expert, master, what is it, companion, and immortal. I think
Uh,
that's the Beckme
Masters
part of
and
it.
more.
Um, yeah, Beckme. Yeah, you got okay. I got that flipped.
Yeah,
Um, and so what the Rule Cyclopedia does is instead of you having to buy all those books, you buy one book. It's got all of it except for some of Immortal consolidated and condensed into one book. So it's a desert island book. In order to run an infinite number of Dungeons and Dragons games, all you need is Rule Cyclopedia. It's got how to play, it's got all the classes, it's got skills, it's got setting, it's got monsters, it's got rules for how to become an immortal, so how to become a god, and a little bit
yeah.
on extra planes. It's got siege equipment, it's got domain play, all that stuff that had been built up over the Beckme series. One beautiful book.
Okay, so they pulled it all from Beckme.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
there was slight tweaks here and there between Beckme and
Clarification,
Rule
things like that.
Cyclopedia, but it's virtually the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a great book. It's laid out really well. It's if you um yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Love it. Who do we got here? So let me see. We got Death Angel Shadow. Yeah, good to see you, man. He says I need to build a table like Angelo has there. Yeah, I actually built this and had it in California. And when I moved out to Montana, I brought it with me. I just need some players. There's not that many here in Montana.
Well, that's coming
Um,
up at Angelo Con.
Yeah, we gotta do an
Yeah,
Angelo Cornell. You
Con and
guys can
friends.
come here and crash on the couches, and yeah, we got a
Yep,
big cramped house, and yeah, we need
coming
to fill
October 13th. Get your badges now on tabletop.events,
it.
and be sure to reserve your room because the hotel here he's kind of sketchy. Um,
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
going to keep talking about cash money, but you're like, I'm not going to send cash money through the mail, and Angelo's going to insist on it. So do what you
Yeah,
can.
yeah. Here's a better shot of it if you guys care to see.
Wow, that is a lot of storage capacity. Thing
Yeah,
looks
and
solid too.
yeah.
Bet you could fight on top of it.
Yeah, and what's really cool about this too, I wish maybe I should get a better shot of this. What's cool about this is this lifts
Oh, okay.
and it flips.
Room
Um,
review.
and it flips, so it's got a area where there's no sand in it, but if you wanted to fill it with sand, you could. Kind of cool. Um, yeah, kind of cool thing. But let me get back to this. But yeah, maybe someday I'll do a full table tour, gaming room tour, something like that. But
Keep
back
the
to
mystery. Keep them guessing.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's not show everything. Who do we got here? So yes, Blur says, "What's up, nerds?" All right, I like it. Thank you. I represent that. Death Angel Show, Clockington, Swords and Stones is here. Good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping on. Blur is driving, she says. Okay. Sign me up, Matthew Sherman says. What part of Tennessee? I'm in New England. Oh, NE, Alabama. Okay. Yes, we need to do your con. DAS. What does DAS mean? Agile,
You
what does
got
DAS
me.
mean?
Yeah, let us know, Agile.
All right, let me get back on my seat. Ugh.
Oh no, stay on your knees the whole time. I'm sure Blair will start sending some like super chats the longer you
Yeah,
stay on
where
your
I'm on
knees.
my knees. Yes, yes.
So
Um,
that gaming table, is that sturdy enough to do like push-ups that also make mayonnaise noises on, or have you tried that?
well, I've been on. It's got a
No,
little
man,
wobble to it,
no,
a little bit,
a
but
little
you
too
could
much
stand
wiggle.
on it. Yeah, the reason why it's got a wobble is I'm not a carpenter,
Ah, gotcha.
and I
I
do
hear
have
you.
some belt brackets I need to put in it at some point. They're back there, I guess.
Mhm.
That need to go in. So, yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Get everybody over here and carve your initials in it. Yeah. So, oh, it's his initials. DAS is okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Um, so I do have the tendency to squirrel. So, but I do want to keep track of the chat here.
Sure, yeah.
But you mentioned the Raven Queen. So
Yes.
part of my rant I wanted to show and say is I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the Death Angel's Shadow. Nice, got it. Okay. Have you ever seen this miniature? It's kind of a knockoff of the Loth, right?
Okay.
And
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
it's got a really good sculpt. I bought this years back, and because I'm getting back into painting, I busted it out. I cracked open it's not mint in box anymore. You know what I mean? I opened it, pulled everything out. And you know what was the biggest bummer of this? Because I was ready I was ready to get this thing painted, put some primer on it. And it's got a really good sculpt too.
Oh wow.
It really does. And
Got
it's
some
got
textures there. Yeah.
it's her in half. It's basically her in half form. Half spider, half drow form, drow, whatever you guys want to call it.
The
Uh,
tempting one. Right. Yeah.
yeah, the one that, and it's got the big spider body on it.
The one that gives you uncomfortable feelings. Yeah, because you
Yeah,
don't
but
know
you
if you're
can't.
supposed to like it or not. Yeah.
You feel really, what is it? You feel bad because you like it, or I don't know what is it, whatever it
Repulsed and attracted at the same time. Because like the succubus drawing from AD&D first edition, that's just a chick with a costume, still a
is.
hot chick. But like spider body, hot chick attached to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
supposed to
mean,
like this one.
you like what you like, and sometimes you like stuff and you're repulsed by why you like it or that you do like it. So, I mean, I
So
find that a lot.
Angelo, let's do some deep dive psychology here. How much of an influence do you think Loth was on your lifelong crippling goth girl addiction?
Okay. What
It's
year
not
did Q?
insignificant.
What year did Q1 come out? And I will say this: the first game, no, second game that I ever played in, I was a cleric who went through Q1. So that was my first ever. Okay, back up. Not my first game, but my first actual TSR mod that I was playing, and that had to have been, God. When was that?
I'm
Um,
looking up the year.
yeah, look up the year. That was my first.
1979.
That came out in '79. So I had played that. I think it was in '82, and I would have been 9 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it did
So
get to
it's
you
deep,
young, didn't
dude.
it?
It's deep. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It goes
Yeah.
back to the day.
It goes back pretty deep. So yeah, I think she's kind of, to be honest with you, because and in the '80s and into the '90s, I was super into that scene, right? I think they call it dark wave now, but we actually called it, death rock. There was a term used also for a type of music. It was called morbid. It was called gothic too, and that was the way, the dress type. Um, I'd be embarrassed to show you guys pictures because I do have pictures of what how I dressed and my friends and all of us back in the days. But I think it had an under. I've never added the two together, but now that you say that, it's gotta be. It's right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There it
yeah.
is. So designers, be careful of your art design decisions. What
Yes.
you tell your artist you want, because they could have made her like a hideous woman attached to a spider body. Probably not likely to create long lasting damage. Now, some guys will still go for that, but like it won't be
Yeah.
as many, and Angelo wouldn't be, so afflicted as he is today.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want. You
The
probably.
maths.
I'm not sure I want to admit what's on my Facebook and Instagram feed. It is definitely overwhelmed by I don't know if I want to say it here, but let's just say women of that dark dress in dark clothes and do fun things. Also, cats are in there. Surprisingly, there's no references to D&D or any kind of gaming.
Oh, you mean just like cats that you pet, like the four-legged feline kinds, not the
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Cat
not people
videos.
wearing okay, thank God.
No.
Thank God. And Matt Sherman, I see that, and that makes sense. Having met you, that makes sense that Bladul Pulp would be a thing for you. Okay, we're all getting time. We're all figuring things out about each other tonight. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
straight up, no, like neck down, Bladul Pulp. Yeah, yeah, right. It's just the crayfish head. That's kind of a problem.
yeah. Back to I don't want to forget these comments in here too.
Mhm.
Just coming, Jeff. Death Angel says a lot of folks call me that. Some just call me Jeff for some odd reason. Okay. Clockington, you did a put a comment in here. I want to say thank you for sure. He says, I found DM Angelo recently. I learned so much. I added dungeon terms, wandering monsters, and the need for torches into my game this past week with great success. Dude, that is super cool to hear that. Yeah, I recently did a short series. Part 4 comes out this Monday, and it talked about light pressure, time pressure, and then kind of talking about dungeon turns, and then the next one is going to be decision pressure in your dungeon crawls. So that's what he's referencing. Yeah, I did a couple videos on that. I'm a big advocate of applying pressure in your game to your players to make them kind of make decisions in tension in a D&D game is very important to me. So that's what these videos are about, to create tension. I think that's a big thing about old school. But man, that's really cool that you put that in your game too, dude. That is really, I'm happy to hear that. Super, super cool. That's a win for me, dude. That is a total win. That's why I do the videos I do. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you make good
Freezer
advice videos.
says,
You're legit.
yeah, thank you, man. And we'll get into your channel too, because I watched a couple recently that I want to talk about. Freezer says, so we breeding or what? Oh boy. Okay.
Uh, okay. Do you know
Yeah.
what he's referencing there when he keeps
Yeah.
bringing up that and the were rats? Do you know what he's talking about?
Where rats and breeding with the window.
Okay, so in my review of Fighters Challenge 1, there's some
Yes.
NPCs that are were rats,
Where
and
rats. Yep.
there's a little bit of text in there that his degenerate imagination has latched onto, and now he's like praying for a were rat to come and impregnate him, even though he's a guy. But he,
Yeah.
these Zoomers and stuff, they got all kinds of weird conceptions about how biology works these days. And he's one of
Yeah.
the smarter ones, but still, man, get help, Freezer, get help.
Yeah. Get out, Freezer. Great guy, by the way. You guys hook
Yeah,
up
he
with
is.
him. Good dude. Mr. Warwick says Queen Blair the Mighty. Let's put that up there. Queen Blair the Mighty. Blair Blur is one of our been there from the beginning on this channel. Kudos
All
and
stars.
hats off to her. She's the best. One of our biggest participants in the channel. Lil CWA says, Hail Angelo with the Spock symbol. I can't do it with that hand. I guess I can do it with this one, not this one.
Little
Huh?
Siwa.
Can you
That's
do
right,
it on
little
both?
CY.
Can you do it on both? Oh my God, you're proficient. He says, "Hail, Angelo. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming. Brass Monkey is here. Good to see you, man. Really, really good to see you. Thank you. Another person that's been here from the beginning." Clockington also says, "I've definitely been ignorant of old school play, and it's clear I've been missing out, dude. Old school play is where it's at. I will die on that pedestal. Love it. Whatever suits anybody, but that's my. I mean, it's where it's at. So good, good, good. Brass says, get your pin vise or drill out and pin it. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Matthew said, mini painting is a skill. I do not have any patience to learn. People, dude, I suck at it, but I feel like I'm getting better as I kind of, I would say this, and I will die on this, is the Army Painter Speed Paint series of paints are really helping me out. I can blot stuff in and it just looks okay instead of like crap. Mr. Work says, love hearing the success stories. Okay, here we go from Brass Monkey. Not as much as the succubus in the original Monster Manual.
Yeah, but that's just like looking at a Playboy. I don't think you're going to get real deranged from that. You might like chicks in naughty Halloween costumes. That's about all
Yeah,
that's going to be. But
yeah,
spider plus hot chick, that's tough.
yeah. It's got that dark tone to it. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't. I don't know. I don't know what the succubus does. For me, I mean, I have a print of it too. It was Darlene in it, right? Darlene.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got a print recently from her. I think it's in my other room. But yeah, I mean, that's one of those. I just love that old line art from the Monster Man. I mean, who didn't? Well, growing
Yeah.
up, yeah. I
It became
mean,
iconic for a reason.
yeah,
Was it always the highest quality, most accurate thing in the world? No, but it's fine to have some imperfections as long as you're memorable and enjoyable.
yeah,
Who cares?
yeah, yeah.
Right?
Super cool, super cool. I dig all that stuff. I mean, I gravitate towards that too. Like it's. I like to see that in a lot of the new mods, adventures coming out. I like to see that
Mhm.
line. I don't need. I kind of shy away from not shy away, but that attracts me more, and it says old school to me than a lot of the. I mean,
The
cover
hyper
girl.
saturated, all the colors, all the time,
Yeah,
just stuff that would put any Tolkien artist to shame with just how ostentatious it is. That became real common in 5e, and even and some of the third party products go even more over the top with how grandiose the art is. I th- Sometimes I think there's only so good looking RPG art should be.
yeah,
Like it becomes a display piece and not a play piece.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
that's true. That's a great way to put it. Yeah,
well, thanks. It's just like too much is too much. And oh
yeah.
boy, Fred is weighing in on Team Tiamat.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it's the seven mouths is what's got you going. Is that it? But they all have teeth in them, man. Like this isn't something. It's like having a gator orgy, like don't do that. I mean, if you want one, go hang out with Freezer. He's in South Florida. He could probably make that happen. But
Yeah,
no,
don't do it.
no, don't, not once, Fred, not once.
So, Fred, speaking of Fred, he does say in here that, and this is true. Yeah, I ran him through Q1 in 86 and 85 and 86. Yeah, he was one
That's
of
awesome.
me and him were playing in the early 80s D&D together. And, yeah, great dude. Fred's the best. Mr. Rourke. Let me get through these comments here. Good thing the artists argue with myself there, but okay. It's worth a look. D series descent into the Underdark put and here, read this one. Here we go.
Yeah.
D series put an indelible mark on my fantasy gaming for 4 years. Epic Underground Journey is a trope. I go back to system after, yeah. And what a great system! What a great series that was.
You know what?
That
I would
thing
add
says I
to
really
that.
don't.
Well,
Go
before you
ahead.
run off on that, because because I saw that comment about the D series. I wanted to do a plug for another friend of ours. Um, Joe Block did
Yeah,
has an R series, R1, 2, and 3, and it's all
yeah,
based around the Great Rift, which he, was inspired by the Big O Rift in Greyhawk, and it's a great series. The first one's above ground, but then the second two are beneath ground. And when I was reading through them and then wound up, I believe, editing, I think the third one, because the second one I think was good to go, but the third one he let me do a re-edit of it. Um, it so gave me the same flavor and feeling of isolation as the D series
yeah,
did. And so if you enjoyed what the D series gave you, but you don't want to just play through that again,
yeah,
check out his R series, Joe Block's R series, R1, R2, R3, and they're cool. They're really cool.
yeah. He's got a lot of really good, and I'm wondering if they do open the license. I've talked with him. He probably will write them to be able to sell them on DM's Guild, uh, and he can talk about that. But that the R1, and then even the T0. He's got a, and he also did a kind of a remake of which is called Q2. He wrote it as, which is his take on Q1, the things he didn't like about it. So check that out too, you guys. And it's on his BRW games website.
Is it one of
Yeah,
his free ones?
he also did make D4. Yeah, and Q2. Yep. That's what I'm chatting about. Really good stuff. I mean, he's a fantastic imagineering voice. Imagine, how would you say that?
He is the contemporary voice of Gary Gygax, classic Gary Gygax adventure design. So if you
Yeah,
read like G1 and then you go and read R1, you're going to
yeah,
feel like it's the same guy who wrote it. And when I'm editing for Joe, he's very insistent on he wants to maintain his high Gygaxian prose, and I love that. I respect it. Um,
yeah.
and so Jason Jacobson, you really like R1. That's good. And I think that was the first like full module of his I got to do a re-edit on because I
Yeah,
had heckled him about something, and then he took the corrections. And I was talking to him a little bit later, and he said, "I've been meaning to redo this one, so here, have at it." And I went through and just redid the whole thing. So if you get one of the newer editions of R1, you're going to see this guy in the credits. He paid me.
nice.
He actually paid me money for it. I kept telling him just give me free stuff, but he was like, "No, I want to give
Yeah,
you cash." I was like, "All right, I'll take cash." But R1 is cool, and the amount of the adventure potential in it. I mean, it's exciting to get to work on adventure material. Um, and toot somebody else's horn. I just got hired. Was it this week? And I got the manuscript today for
yeah,
another
you
uh,
yeah,
module from Luau Lu of Dandelion Games, another Mutant Crawl Classics game. Um, about tacos, and it's already like, oh man, I fall in love with the concept so much. It's cool stuff. But anyway, yes, R1, it's good stuff. You bought it before you edited it, and yeah, it's
yeah,
you could tell he needed an editor, couldn't you, Jason? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm
I
very
think
grateful that he
I
let me
can't
do that.
remember. Is that up on his BRW drive-through site, or is that free on his?
That's when you buy. So that is
Okay,
on
fine.
Drive Through
So that's on his
RPG.
BRW site. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because I know Q2 is not, T0 is not. Those are um, uh, yeah, those are free for on his site. So yeah, you guys check out his stuff for sure. I really dig, because I'm a huge Greyhawk fan, and that's where my passion is as far as setting wise. And I'll shamelessly admit when I have questions about Greyhawk, I ask him. So
Yeah.
him
And
and
don't sleep on his free stuff. It's good too.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry to
Um,
interrupt.
Well, I think I'm caught up with the comments. Angelo does say, yeah, Joe Block has done a really good job too. Yeah. He screwed up putting modules on DM's Guild. You have to give up rights. Okay. He screwed up if he's, yeah. And I know, and maybe later on in the show, he'll be able to tell us about that.
Yeah.
Not a
Um,
spoiler alert.
And
Not
maybe
a
some of
spoiler
those
alert.
in the comments, or Angela, maybe you know it because I haven't done any publishing on Drive Through or DM's Guild or anything like that. Are there any rights differentials between going through DM's Guild versus doing Drive Through RPG? Because my understanding it's the same company, but I don't know if terms and
Yeah.
conditions are different.
From what I understand, is DM Scale they'll own the rights to it.
Okay.
The other drive through, you own the rights of it.
Okay.
So, and it's all about licensing, right? So if he puts something on DM's Guild, is a different license. So any of you guys, please, if you guys are more intelligent about this, please put it in the comments because I'd love to learn if that's not the take that I understood it as.
And
But
maybe that's why he does drive through with his Greyheim adventure modules,
yeah,
because he's keeping that to himself. Now, I'm pretty sure that he's publicly stated that if they open Greyhawk up
yes.
for independent creators, then he has no problem doing
Well,
whatever it is they need
he
just
would
to make
convert
sure.
all. Yeah,
Yeah.
he would convert all of Greyheims too, because yeah, yeah. At least that's the going rumor. So, and supposedly there's going to be some changes on licensing. So we'll probably see a lot of that happening. So, yeah. Death Angel Shadow says you can use with WotC IP for DM skill, but they get a cost. Yeah, yeah, yep, yep,
Got
yep.
it.
And
Mm,
generally, I think DM's Guild is written for 5e, right? Is that yes? DM Guild claims the rights to your stuff, have to make a deal with the devil to use the devil's IP. Yeah,
that's
Jason
so
says that.
messed up, because as someone with published works, and I've signed contracts and I've filed copyrights of this and that, the idea of giving up my rights to things to something like
That you
DM's
created.
Guild would
Yeah,
just make me feel sick, because like of all my short stories that have been published, a traditional term in every one of them is after 1 year from the publication of the short story anthology that I've appeared in, all rights revert back to me. So I own everything that I've ever
yeah,
had
and you should.
published
You
or
wrote it.
published
Yeah,
myself.
yeah,
I just signed a contract to contribute to Castle Wolfmoon,
yeah,
where this is a work for hire. So once it's done and Chris Clark pays me, he keeps it forever. That explicitly up front, it's for a distinct product with a cool guy, no
yeah,
problem at all. But not if I did 100% of the work and I do all the promotion, and this is just a platform that I get to sell it on. The
yeah,
platform gets my rights. No, that's
yeah,
ridiculous. Like if
yeah,
DM's Guild was actually really doing something to materially help create the product, got it. But now, some people sell themselves way too cheap, and that's why, like a lot of great bands, they crap out after the first album because they get such awful contract terms from their publisher that they're broken afterwards. Um,
yeah,
and then you're stuck in the classical trap of, well, a bad deal's better than no deal. Sometimes it's not.
yeah,
Um, and especially in modern publishing, especially novels, things like that, the publisher's not going to do anything for you that you can't or that you won't do yourself. They're going to rely on you to do all the marketing. Back in the day, they would do the marketing, they would do the editing, they would add a lot of value. And so it made sense to try to seek a publishing house. Nowadays, they usually don't do that. So you're just giving someone a cut of your potential sales that you're going to have to do all the earning for. Why on earth would you want that?
yeah.
You know, and that's anyway.
Hmm.
That's my rant.
Yeah, that's definitely a rant-worthy rant. Yeah, that's interesting. You know, like myself, I've never. I mean, you're speaking from experience too. And I've never published anything, nor do I think I will ever. I mean, I'm getting pushed to do a couple things, but we'll see. And you'll be my editor if I do. But yeah, that's an interesting take. Like, I think that's a hard pill to swallow. And you know, I want to talk about music too. But yeah, I couldn't. You know, I'm also contributing to Castle Wolfmoon too. I got a couple of things I'm doing with him, and I, you know, Chris is a friend, and I think it's a great project, and 100% do I want to be a part of it. But yeah, that's a different type of, that's for a project. That's
Totally
not
different.
my project. Yeah. And that's where I could understand that. But if I was writing a module or something that was, and I've had to give it to somebody else and it's their rights now to do what they want with it, then they can even say, we don't, we own it now. We don't want it to be on our site anymore, and then,
Yeah.
where's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
garbage.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jason Jacobson, I see your thing. You say you're really surprised to hear Castle Open isn't completed after all the years. Well, not to speak for Chris, but he did have a setback. It is complete in the state that him and Gary's works are finished and done, but he is adding more to it by getting other people to participate and add to it. So that's why. So he's collecting all that stuff, rejiggering it, editing it, adding it, beefing it up. And I don't know when the release date is of it, but I know next month. Well, the end of this month it goes live on Kickstarter. So I think is it the end of this? I can't remember the exact day, but and then there was a setback last year that you guys, can do the research on what happened there, but.
It feels like longer than that. Was it only 1 year ago that Luke decided to stage his public character assassination campaign?
Yeah, it was last year, right before North Texas, I
Okay.
think. Last year?
No, that sounds right, I think. Yeah, because I remember talking to Chris
Or was it
about
the year
that.
before?
You got me. You got me. But
Yeah,
it's
Chris,
in
if
the
you're watching,
past now.
it is. And all that's water under the bridge, and it's all good. And we're looking forward to seeing this. And those of you guys know, Chris is on here quite a bit and talks about it. And he's not here tonight because he needs to be working on it. So
Exactly. So Jason Jacobson, that's what one of the reasons that sometimes Angelo might impound Chris, and this is me making stuff up completely. Angelo hadn't told me any of that. But when you're a writer, you get creative. Is that sometimes he has to like shove Chris into the cage, lock the
lock the
padlock, and be like,
door.
right, right.
Yeah. Well, I know it's been
Crack him down.
contract week and getting all the contracts out and all
Yep.
that. So I think he says he's done with that, but yeah, I'm sure you guys will all hear about that. Back to I did want to say this to all you guys on the chat. Do me a favor and hit the like button on this video. And by the way, you guys, thanks for commenting. But if you guys all can take a second to hit the like button, and that would be really cool. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. I will say that currently I am at 2,494 subscribers right now. And to hit the 2,500 mark, we need 6 more people. So if any of you guys are not subscribed to the channel and you dare subscribe, please do.
So what everybody in the chat needs to do right now is go out and make another YouTube account and then subscribe to DM and Friends.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. And also find at Stephen.Clements and subscribe to that too. But
yeah.
Question, we haven't done the drink check. What are we drinking tonight?
Yeah. So I have my normal Saturday drink. It is a Kentucky 74 bourbon with a little what is that called? What is the drink called? It's just bourbon, a little bit of water, and some kind of orange. Oh God, it's like an orange. Oh my God, I just went
Bourbon
blank.
guy, but I'm familiar with what you're talking about. And I thought you were going to go a different direction and say that the ice cube floating around was like frozen ketamine, because that would explain a lot if that was how you're rolling. But maybe that's just on me and Freezer when we play online. That maybe we're the ones who do that.
Oh my God, what is it called? I just went blank because
to the Googles.
Oh God.
Bourbon
Oh my God.
and citrus. What's that called?
It's not snuff. It's oh my god, I just went blank. I guess I'm having a senior moment. Um, Agile says, "What? You make stuff up? Say it ain't so." Yeah. Yep. Jason Jacobs says, "I
Bourbon
have challenge."
sour?
Nope. Nope.
Okay,
Nope. Nope.
you got me.
No.
Oh, and those
Um,
in the chat, drop what you're drinking too. Alcoholic, non-alcoholic, vibes, whatever. Old fashioned. All right.
Old
Is it an old
fashioned.
fashioned?
Yes, old fashioned. God.
Matt
Yeah.
Shermer with the
So
save.
I have a little mix that goes. It's just a couple drops. It's got a kind of a citrus flavor to it that goes. It's an old fashioned mix. Yeah.
Ah.
So anyways, cheers, my friend.
So I've got let's see, Fever Tree, tonic water with a couple shots of gin, and of course a healthy amount of lime. So it's
Cheers.
enjoyable. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I like the
And
Yeti cup. Yeah, that's nice.
yeah, well, keeps it colder longer.
It really does. You
Uh,
know those. Yeah, I have several, and I also have a Yeti cooler. And I will tell you, um, uh, wow. True story. When I got married in 2016, I had a buddy who had a big Yeti cooler, and I was like, "Hey, man, bring it because it's for the reception." And it was filled with ice and beer and all that stuff. And he left it. Well, I got to it 3 days later and opened it up, and it still was filled with ice 3 days later. And this is in the middle of June in California. And so
re-
those things work really well, dude. I was pretty impressed. So yeah, I have a smaller, not as big as he had. It is as big as my desk, but smaller one. They work really good. So even the cups and the tumblers and all that. So um,
Relatedly, my cousin, who is a legendary alcoholic, he gave me this tip that totally worked out because he's been to a number of all inclusives in the Gulf and the Caribbean, and he knew I was going. He gave me a bit of a hint that get you some of them highly insulated thermoses, and when you go get your mixed drinks from the bar that are included, have them put it in that, because then you go hang out on the beach all day, your stuff's not going to freeze, or I'm sorry, it's not going to melt. And
yeah,
boy howdy, he was right. So if you're
wow,
going to an all inclusive, get yourself a Yeti thermos. You will be glad you did. Though you do
yeah,
need to leave it open a little bit because it will refreeze into a solid icicle of booze. This happened to me. So yeah.
wow.
Thanks, Agile Monk. Appreciate you, bud. Yep,
Yeah, Angelo,
I
thank
do
you so
know.
much.
And
One
thanks
of
to
the
the other
best.
folks who have. I appreciate you.
Yeah, but yeah. So by the way, guys, Stephen Clements has got those of you guys that don't know, I know I've talked about this before, but Stephen has a channel that he does a lot of really cool stuff on there, and I think it's called Stephen Clements. If you search for it, right, your name,
Yeah, I'm
the
gonna
channel.
get the link, but I'm
So
pretty sure it's just Stephen
um,
Clements. Yeah.
yeah, Stephen. Yeah, so you do a lot of module reviews. You do a lot of reads of some of your books that you've edited or read or edited or written.
Hmm.
He gets all dressed up, really cool, old-fashioned style, and reads them. Uh, you do a lot of things like that. You've done a lot of interviews, which really inspired me to kind of start in the format that you did.
Oh wow,
To be
thanks.
honest with you. Yeah, and by the way, guys, for this channel, Stephen was the very first interview I did, which was um, landmark. Let's say that word. So,
Yeah, yeah, and I
and
appreciate that. That was an honor.
yeah, it was very, very cool. And uh, it- and and so yeah, go over to his channel, guys. It's his name that's on there right now, Stephen Clements, and check out his here. I'm actually going to put a link in because I
Yeah,
just so
just
happen to have this for you guys. But go over there, subscribe to his channel, check out some of the cool stuff he does. And you just did recently, and I watched maybe 2 days ago
mhm.
the Total Con review
Yes,
with your buddy Patrick, right?
yes,
And that was
and
really cool. I thought that was very interesting that you kind of gave him a voice to do, hey, this is what happened at TotalCon. I think that's a great idea, and it made me want to go to
Yeah, well,
TotalCon.
good. Glad, and
Yeah,
you should, because TotalCon's amazing. And yeah, when I lived in New Hampshire for like 4 years, me and Pat, we met, we got to gaming, and we tried a whole bunch of different stuff together. We still game together online in our monthly on guard game. And 1 year we did a prisoner exchange of he came down to North Texas, and then I went up to TotalCon, and we
yeah,
both had a fantastic time. The TotalCon folks are fantastic, and when I started doing when I in all the con Facebook pages, I see folks always asking the same questions over and over again about how does it work? What's the hotel? Blah blah blah. Did you have a good time? How did the games work? And
yeah,
oh, thanks, man. Um, and I thought I'm just going to do a convention report to cover where's it at? How do you register? What's it
yeah,
like? How do you run, what are the games I ran in and what were the experiences I had? How do you eat? How do you get there? All that basic stuff. And my introductory video for how to con, how to plan going to an RPG convention and having a good
yeah,
time, I used my first attendance at TotalCon as the illustration for it. And then I started doing my own North Texas Con reports. I've got at least, I think, 3 of those up. And for the cons I can't go to, but I'm interested in it, I know someone who went, I'll hit them up and say, hey, would you mind me interviewing you? Because I know that if folks can get a better look at how much fun can be had at all these different cons, they're more likely to go. And then they're more likely to share in the community and the hobby that makes the experience worthwhile. Because by ourselves, it's not a community. Together, we're a gaming community. So
yeah,
glad you liked it. And Pat did some crazy stuff. He's a great DM. And I'm glad it made you more likely to go to TotalCon.
yeah,
And I get nothing out of that. I'm not sponsored. I'm just doing it for love of the game. And somebody earlier on Facebook had commented on the Total Con Report post that I made, and he said, 35 minutes, that's kind of long. As a fellow YouTuber, can I give some advice? You might want to make it shorter. More people might see it and grow your audience. And I said, well, thank you. And no, because this is a point that comes up with, are you creating for yourself or are you creating to market yourself to an audience? I fall more in the I create what I want to create. And if people like it, that's great. If they don't, well, I'm happy I made something that I really liked. So my videos can get long winded.
yeah.
That's what I do.
You definitely got to sit down and carve out some time when you watch your videos. That's for darn sure. I but like your review for Fire's Challenge 2, I think was 2.5 hours or 2.5 2 hours. Two.
No, it was Fires of Dis was 2 1 hour episodes. And I
Okay.
think Fighter,
Well,
well,
wasn't
let me double
Fighter's
check
Challenge?
myself.
I think Fighter's Challenge was hovering at 2 hours.
Let me
But I
see.
mean, you went in depth on that, though. You didn't just, oh, here's the cover and this is what happens, and yeah, you got into the psychology of it and what you would fix, what you liked, what you didn't like, all that kind of cool stuff, and it was really, you know, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Thank
So
you.
so yeah, to double click on that while you look that up, you guys go to his channel and just check out just the variety that you have there of great stuff. And
If you like corgis, check it out. If you like talking about movies, check it
you know,
out. If you like fiction that you haven't heard before, check it out. If you like interviews, check it out. If you like
movie
lessons
reviews.
directly from the uh, me reading from Gary Gygax's book, Role Playing Mastery, that is an essential book for any serious RPG hobbyist.
Yeah,
And you don't have finding a copy might not be easy, but you can just listen to me read the whole thing.
yeah,
And I also want to plug the early life series that I did with Ernie Gygax. Rest in
yes, yes.
peace.
That
Hashtag
too. I
dicks out.
didn't totally
Um,
forgot about that too. That is great. That's a really good look, guys. If you get a chance, go and see his interview which timely was before his passing.
I thought we
So
had more time.
so good that you were able to do that, though. So what a great
So
thing for the
Fighters
community.
Challenge. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please, please.
I appreciate it. And yeah, a lot of the things that I do, I go into the depth that I do is because I'm trying to build the body of knowledge we have about our hobby. And so if I spend more time talking about something than somebody who's going to get 5 times the clicks as me, but you're going to forget the moment you stop watching, that's fine. But if you
Yeah,
want something authoritative to come back to, I'm here for you.
yeah.
Um, so Fighters Challenge 1 was only 23 minutes and 30 seconds. Holy crap, how did I do that? That was before I did my deep dive editor reviews. I think the longest single
Wait,
review I did
Fighters
was
Challenge was only 20 minutes.
Fighters Challenge 1. Now Fighters Challenge 2
That's the one I'm
is
talking.
that's definitely like an hour plus.
I
An
think it was
hour and
too long.
10 minutes.
Okay,
The
why did I think it was longer?
it felt longer.
Well, I just appreciated that
Thanks.
that you dove into it as deep as you did, because just sometimes you see a review that just kind of glances over, and I've done that too.
Yeah.
You don't really get into. You went freaking encounter by encounter, I think, almost. You know what I mean?
Some of them deserve it.
And you gave your opinion, what worked, what didn't work, what you like to have seen differently, and or what you loved about this, or hey, this was weird, why did they put this in there? You did a lot
Yeah.
of that too, which is cool, because that's obviously your opinion, but b, probably the voice of a lot of people, if you think about it. It's kind of like, oh, that's yeah, I wish I would have said that, you know what I mean, or something like that. So yeah, very cool.
I gotta look up
Yeah.
this
I gotta let my
podcast.
cat in. Hang on a second.
Yeah, go for it. One of these podcasts put out by some of the Goodman Games folks. Oh, two of their longtime creators. I'm trying to remember what it was, but um, I think it's Talking TSR. They're like hour plus uh, talks between two of their creators. That yeah, Talking TSR from Goodman Games. And that's
Oh yeah,
Chris
yeah,
and
yeah,
Rick.
yeah.
They talk for at least an hour about a single module, and they go back and forth and they pick the thing apart. And I really enjoy that. So it's not a
Yeah,
huge audience that's out there for hour discussions, picking apart the meat, the
yeah,
sinews and the bones of an RPG module, but it exists, and
yeah,
I'm part of that crew. But I see that I'll get a link and drop it in there because it's some really good material they got. Unfortunately, they stopped doing it, so there's no new episodes. But if you're a completionist, you can you can see all of their work.
yeah, yeah.
And
Cool.
I see that there's a certain guy from New Jersey in here who thinks that listening to Joe Block's opinions about aliens is important, or Freemasons. Like he knows anything about either one of those.
Yeah,
Joe, what is happening, my man? Good to see you, bud.
good to
But
see you. Yeah, there's a couple people in here that I wanted to give a shout out to. Let me go back to the top, but we got a little behind here.
got some great comments tonight.
Yeah, Matthew Sherman, to Stephen, you were the one convincing reasons to go to North Texas, that's a really cool,
Thanks, man.
one of the best cons to ever. I've said it so many times in this show, but yeah, I
And the
think you and I
Windies.
are both advocates for that, um, uh, for that convention. Um, and let me go back to another con. By the way, TNT Able Top Tavern, which we know is thank you for subscribing to both of those channels, and yeah, it's really cool. Das the Delver interviewer was a fun watch. Yep. Greyhawk Ragnar, good to see you. Thank you for jumping on. Um, 4-year old school MGHGM cheapest. Okay, that's I don't know what that is. A Bro Moster Star. I've never seen you before, and he says that he is excited for the new Greyhawk modules with Luke coming soonish. Yeah, that's really cool. A lot of us are pretty excited. Some are not, some are, but I would say that you guys know my take on it.
If I can
And
interject there about Wizards of the Coast and trying to be
welcome to
nice
the
to them.
channel, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Apologizing to Luke, but as a proxy for apologizing to Gary, and Joe had a good take on this. I watched the four-way interview or the talk he did with his buddies, where he
Yeah.
started cussing up a storm about it. But while Wizards of the Coast and by extension Hasbro has done a lot to alienate its base audience, I am always ready for them to win me back. Now that means they're
Yeah.
going to have to try to do it, and they're going to
Yeah.
have to do it in good faith. Now I know they're a corporation; they just want my money. That's what corporations do. I don't blame
Yeah.
them for that. But
Yeah.
if they want to give me everything I want, I am not going to tell them no,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we will all do better if they reunite with the fan base that they've alienated and we all start pulling the hobby in the same
Yeah.
direction, we'll be unstoppable.
Yeah.
But as it is, we're two warring camps, and I'm perfectly happy in the camp I'm in. But
Yeah.
it'd be better if we were together.
Yeah. 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 Similarities. Let's concentrate on the similarities and stay away from the differences. I
Yeah.
get people's opinions. I don't want to go down that route again, but speaking of Joe's opinion, which this guy is, Greyhawk Grognard talking about with his buddies, but yeah.
We're not worthy.
Yeah.
We're
Hey, by
not
the way, you
You
did the
better be worthy.
audio.
I'm on here like every other time.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
grace
will
us.
say, welcome. Yeah, I will say that the goal of this Saturday is really to just to hang out, We talk about stuff. You want to come in? It's a good thing. But
It's a good
welcome,
show.
my friend. How
Thank
was
you, thank
movie
you.
night?
It was good. We started watching the Stephen King TV show about the Kennedy assassination, like 11/23/63 or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's really good. I like the first episode a lot.
Cool.
Huh? Don't even know about that. Okay.
Yeah, it's like some guy goes back in time. James Francisco goes back in time, and it's really neat. It's really neat so far.
So is that feeling like it's more like Stephen King? No, did Stephen King write it?
He produced it.
He produced it. Okay, so he probably had some creative
There's
control as well.
they mentioned Derry and some of the towns and stuff, but
Well, I asked because my wife has always insisted that his less spectacular magical stuff is his best work.
honestly, I am not a big Stephen King fan. My favorite thing that he's ever written was Dance Macabre, where he talks about horror.
Okay.
He's like talking about the craft of horror and the history of horror fiction and so on. I thought that was fantastic. I'm not a fan of his actual horror books, though. Needful Things was a good movie. I liked that with Max von Sydow. But I'm just not a big Stephen King fan.
I like Salem's Lot. And I
I
haven't tried
wanted to like Salem's Lot. I really wanted to.
I thought the made-for-TV movie was better than the book, though, because the cast was great.
They looked so goofy. The blue with the eyes, and I just couldn't.
I loved it.
Ripped me right out of it. And David Soul is not a good actor.
You didn't like the book at all?
What's that?
You didn't like the book? Salem's Lot? You didn't like the book?
Me or him?
Oh, no. Well, you said you didn't like the book. You thought the movie was better. Oh, you did? I see.
I liked the book, but I thought the movie was better.
Oh, interesting. Because I'll tell you what, out of all the books I read of Stephen King, which I have not read a lot, to be honest with you, I like Salem's Lot. And I think anytime a book, there was a scene in that book that just made me cringe, and I had to put the book down for a minute. That's a good book. Yeah. And
That's
there's a
good.
specific scene that involved, yeah. Anyways, I was like, whoa, this dude is freaking demented. I'm like,
Hey,
what?
Angelo Monk, I noticed you early today, so thank you so much for being there. He's like a stalwart on everything. But I read Eyes of the Dragon, the Stephen King fantasy novel that he did back in the 80s when my God, that was dreck. It was awful. Oh my. Oh man.
I haven't read it. I did start on and make a distance into his book on writing, and I found it so self-indulgent
No,
and
is that the Dance
boring.
Macabre book or is that a different book?
No, it's a I think it's called On Writing,
Oh, okay.
and I was getting nothing out of it. I was in there for a while, and it just wasn't working for me, so I ditched out. But some people swear it's the best thing ever for learning how to write. I don't think I'm missing anything.
I'll be right back. I'm going to refresh since we got a paired channel. I'll be right back.
Okay, I got you.
You guys will miss me for a second.
Sure.
So, Joe, did you hear us pumping the R series earlier?
I did not. I
Yeah.
literally I came in and commented. So
we had somehow wound up talking about Lolth, the Spider Queen, and he talked
As
about
one does.
Q1, and we figured out that Angelo's goth girl fetish came from his exposure to Lolth at an early age.
Yes,
because he figured out the age at which he first played Q1, and so encountered Lolth, and it was about 9 years old, and screwed him up forever. Now, women in like corpse white faces and dark strappy things. It's just he's helpless. It's like kryptonite.
I surrender. I surrender.
You got one of those inflatable spider outfits that you can...
No. Don't give him that idea.
Somebody wore one of those at the con at Gary Con I saw.
Why would you know that?
I actually wanted to get one of those and then do a Drider cosplay, but
nice.
I think that would get me banned from a lot of places if I did a proper Drider. Because I don't think that would work.
One of our commenters, one of our friends in the audience, was talking about the D series and how great it was, and I wanted to make sure that people knew if they liked the flavor of that series, and you want more of it, but you don't want to just do the exact same thing. Check out the R series, because after R1, which is fun above ground, you get into that same feeling of isolation and cold and loneliness in the Underdark in R2 and R3. And apparently some people have checked that out, and
cool.
And to sing your praises. Yeah, no, it's some good stuff.
Yeah. So to my disappointment, I kind of squirreled and we went a different route. But I was telling you about that miniature, that Reaper miniature that I bought and opened up, and I was getting ready to paint it. The Loth. It's not called Loth. It's Shiraleth Spider Demoness, but we know what it was supposed to be. So this, I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yep.
But it's a great sculpt. It's a great mini. So I opened it up, and it's supposed to be the half. Loth is half drow, half spider. So, it comes with the big body and all that stuff, and the torso, all that neat stuff, and the legs.
He likes big thoraxes, and he cannot lie.
Yes. Well,
let me see them spinnerets.
This is the legs that came with it. This is the legs, guys, that came with it, right?
Paralyze and wrap me up, girl.
Okay, only 4. I'm missing 4 legs in this whole thing. I waited for years to paint this stupid thing, and it's missing 4 of the legs. So damn you, Reaper. Yeah. So if anybody that's watching has a leg up, no pun intended.
Good night, folks. We're out.
I can turn this camera off.
Hey, I thought that was pretty clever, actually. But anyways, Oh my god, the comments went crazy when we started talking about goth girls. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so big TT goth girls go back ancient Mesopotamia and the descent in the underworld. Wow, did you know that? My historian scholars over here did not.
I didn't really get the goth girl connection, but I was aware of the myth of the Nana.
Okay. I have to look into that.
I'll bet you will, under the covers with a
I
flashlight.
will. I love it. What speaking of Q1, what was your first experience with Q1? Because I know you've been both of you guys. Question about what's going on, Steven.
I haven't. Well, I'm reading the comments as we're going, and somebody just
They
donated
do it.
negative $45. And there's some other really good ones in here. And for the folks who are just coming in, it's good to see you. If this is your first
Yes.
time in, welcome in. You'll come back because we always have a good time. We'll be happy to see you when you do. But no, we got some great comments coming up, but I'm going to wait for you to talk about them. But they're cracking me up. I haven't played Q1. I've made it for G1, G2, and then my 5th level wizard was like, "No, I'm not going to the fire giant stead. I don't care what you say, DM. I survived G1 and G2 starting at 2nd level. I'm not going further."
That is actually impressive in and of itself.
Dude, don't give me a wand to pass wall. Don't do it. I turn into a terrorist guerrilla fighter with a wand to pass wall. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No, he didn't see what was coming. And that was my friend Patrick Dwyer from the Total Con Report. But so I would love to play it, but I haven't played it yet. Joe?
I DM'd it back in the day, just kind of on its own, and it's bad. It's the module is uninspired. There's some good bits and pieces in there, but they're underdeveloped. And not in the good Gygaxian way where it's inspiring and you want to do it more. Just, God, this is a pain in the ass, and how am I supposed to play with this now? And the whole thing of the web, obviously, everybody knows the story. It was based on the placemat from a diner. It doesn't look like a web at all, and there's it's meaningless. There's like no purpose for it to do that. You could just jump from the one to the other, and there's no it's very poorly put together from a structural standpoint. And it's just open a door, something weird, opening a door, something weird. It's not well written, and that I think that's the most. Plus, it just takes the entire 6 modules that came before it and throws them in the garbage, because all of a sudden the whole for 6 modules, the Elder Elemental God and the Drow that worship the Elder Elemental God are the bad guys. Not anymore, because now it's just Lolth and there's no mention of the EEG, and it just completely ruins the entire. I think that's not that's not overstating it. It ruins the other modules that came before it, because it just ignores that plot point, which was central.
Well, and the modules that came before in that arc, they were so developed. There was so much intrigue, and there was so much. The depth was, to put it plainly, it was deep. You know what I mean? It was definitely a great arc, and then you kind of throw that in there. I'm wondering now that I'm kind of thinking of, because I do like Q1, and probably the reason why that's the first module, TSR module, I was telling Steven, is that I ever played in, and I played a cleric, and I think he was 12th level, and it was just a good experience. But looking back at it, you do, and knowing the other stuff too, you're right. But I wonder, because who actually wrote that? Who's credited for writing? Was it Southern? Who was credited?
Sutherland wrote it, and the other guy. Oh hell! Now I gotta look it up.
And I wonder, because I know it was based on Gary's stuff, but I wonder if he just didn't give a lot of input on it, and it was a very small.
The input that he gave was ignored, and yeah, it was. Yeah, David Sutherland wrote it.
It was David Sutherland, and I knew that. Was there somebody else too?
I thought 2 people did it, but
I can pull it out here. But...
No, it says Gary Gygax as the co-author, but yeah, he handed over some notes, and Sutherland just kind of did whatever he wanted to do with it.
Yeah,
he obviously hadn't read
the concepts were pretty
series,
good.
So it's kind of like the Temple of Elemental Evil situation where Gary handed Frank a whole bunch of notes.
Gary handed Frank a lot more material for that, as far as I know, and Frank actually tried to use it.
Yeah, and yeah, Q1, it doesn't sound like it's a very well thought out module, which is a shame because D3 is dripping with flavor and all kinds of promise and potential, and then a placemat at a diner.
That's what I was saying. Like it leaves a lot for the DM to fill in, but you want to fill it in.
Yes,
like I did with D4. I did this whole urban adventure in Arrow High Kinlu just to set the players up to what they're supposed to do afterwards.
Yeah.
And when you get to a certain level of player character, when you're writing modules, sometimes you do need to leave a lot of room open for folks to be able to integrate their stories, their campaigns into it. Got it that they didn't spell everything out about D3, but there was enough to work with.
Right.
You could run a very basic version of that just as is. But you can definitely make it sing more if you put a little more effort into it, like you've done.
And I always scratch the surface. You could write a D9, and you could just keep going with urban adventures in Arrow High Kinlu. I mean, it's just amazing.
Just stay there for years.
Yeah. Well, I like what you did with Q, and I think in the beginning of the module Q2 that you wrote, I think you actually said, like, I think this is crap and I want to rewrite it. Basically,
not that was exactly what I did.
Yeah,
and I mean, I started with a map that actually looked like a spider web. An amazing thought. Heavens.
Yeah. I do like the concept of how it kind of weaves, and you could see it as being that way. Some points, whatever, but yeah, you're right. I mean, I do like what you did, and I've ran, Q1 several times, and I actually ran Q2 a couple of years back, and it flowed really well. It went really.
Because I also gave it stakes, right? Because it needs to do a couple things. It needs to have a threat from Lolth that the players have to stumble on and deal with. It needs to have a resolution to the EEG thing. And ideally, it needs to give the player characters a way to deal with both of them together.
Yeah.
In a way that makes sense and is fulfilling.
Yeah.
And I did that by changing. I used the same basic idea that Lolth is invading these other places, but I made them in Greyhawk. Rather than just these worlds that they don't have any attachment to or anything. No, she's about to invade Galeland. So yes, you need to do something about this.
Yeah.
And then the prison of the EEG is in there, just like he intended. And if you do it right, you could trap her in the prison and stop both threats at once. That's the whole point of the module, I thought. And but yeah, people seem to like it. So yay. And
how do you deal? So EEG is the main threat in those. Why do you think they just dropped that and made it Loth?
I don't think they cared. I don't think Sutherland really understood what the modules were about. Because on a cursory reading, it's not glaringly obvious because there's no paragraph at the beginning that says, there's a faction of Drow that worship the EEG and they rebelled. It's buried in the text somewhere, and you have to really read carefully to get it. I think he just kind of skimmed it and just went off on his own.
Yeah. Who do you think's idea of the spider machine was?
Oh, that was all Sutherland. Gygax just
what a crazy
many times online. I did put it in my Q2 though. I put it in as like a rusted Hulk in
A piece of
to throw a little, little homage to the original in
Yeah.
there. It's like this rusted spider ship was in one of the places in the thing.
That's
Yeah.
funny. That's good stuff. But to get back to something you had mentioned, Joe, about your favorite episode being the conspiracy talk with some guy from Jersey. When it comes to interviews, I do biographic stuff. I do deep dives on creators I'm interested in and think need some more stuff, but more exposure. But Joe, he doesn't need more exposure. He's got plenty of his own. But he's got opinions on things, and I was picking up that he had some opinions on things because I listened to the man talk. He's clearly into some weird stuff. I was like, let's talk about weird stuff, Joe. And that was a heck of a lot of fun. So if you
I
haven't
just
seen
today
Conspiracy
found out
Talk,
that in June there is a cryptids and paranormal conference in New Jersey in June. So one of my weekends in June is spoken for. It's the same weekend as North Texas, which I'm not able to go to, but my wife will go with me to this, so I have it out.
So you are going to
that's
that.
okay.
No, I'm not going to North Texas. I was, and I couldn't do 3 things in a row, 3 weekends in a row, and that was the one that I wasn't going to make any money at. So,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Why do it?
Well, that's a tough drive for you too, because I know you've driven there before.
well, I was going to this time. I was a guest. I was going to fly. I was going to run games, but I really want to go back. It's just the logistics just haven't worked out.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to try new stuff.
Yeah. By the way, Gary Oliver is coming on the show this coming Thursday.
Cool.
I know you did. I love that con.
Con Economics with Gary Oliver.
Yeah, you did a really great interview with him on kind of the logistics of running a con, and that was eye opening to me. I thought you did a really great job on that.
Astral Monk, thank you so much. I would love nothing more. That would make my my grognard's heart happy.
Yeah.
And that would make me feel way better about Wizards of the Coast intentions.
Yeah, well, you already covered my opinion on that, so I won't have to repeat myself.
Yeah, we won't go there tonight.
We're on the same page.
We were talking about before you came on, and this came up, and I do want to get your take on this, Joe. Licensing for the difference between DM's Guild and drive-through. What is that? Because I know that I had a take on it, but I don't know if I was totally correct.
This has been coming up a lot. I talked about this actually this afternoon. I was on another live stream. I'm going to be
I was there with you. Yeah.
With DM Bloodworth. And okay, so they're 2 completely different sites. They're both owned and run by One Bookshelf, but they're 2 different sites with 2 different licensing agreements. On 2 different payment things too. Because on drive-through, you can pretty much do anything you want, except you can't use Wizards of the Coast IP. So you can't publish Greyhawk there. You can't publish Forgotten Realms there. You can't publish Ravenloft there. You can use 1E or 5E or whatever E or Call of Cthulhu or whatever. That's fine. But you can't use their specific settings and characters and all that good stuff. DM's Guild is got its own licensing agreement, and you can use selected ones because they do that in conjunction with the Wizards of the Coast, DM's Guild. So Wizards of the Coast gets a piece of the pie, and as a publisher, you only get 50% of the price of what you get.
Oh wow!
Wizards gets a piece, and OBS gets a piece, and you get half, which is less than you get on DM's Guild, but you can't do Greyhawk on DM's Guild or whatever. Yeah. The other thing is you can't use anything except 5e.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. Yeah,
right. So if you want to publish a 1e book, it has to be on drive-through. It can't be on DM's Guild. If you want to do Greyhawk, it has to be on DM's Guild. It can't be on drive-through. If you want to do 1e Greyhawk, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Because you can't, there's no legal way to do that. That's why, I have Greyheim Adventures. That's why a bunch of other people have other near Greyhawk stuff. Castle Entertainment, and, there's a bunch of us out there who are running stuff. Now, there's a third option. It's not. That's not even the end of this nonsense. There's also what's called the fan content policy.
Yep.
And that's where you can do first edition Greyhawk, but you can't sell it. You have to give it away, which is why that stuff's on my website for free. Q2, D4, G3, G1A, all those things that I've got for free up there is because those are published under the fan content policy, which I check every week to see if they change, because who the hell knows if that's going to come.
Right.
So you've got these 3 slots, and depending on what you want to do, you can publish what you want, but you can't necessarily charge people for it. And if you do, you don't necessarily get as much as you could with a different option. So it is a tangle. You really need to navigate it. And I've seen people screw it up impressively, because I've asked, I flat out asked, if I do something on DM's Guild, for 5.5, can I also do, include stuff for 1E? And they, nope. It's gotta be
crazy.
You can't do anything but and I've seen publishers who did both in a book and got it yanked. So there's other advantages though to using DM's Guild, because there is an entire library of art from Wizards of the Coast books that you're allowed to use for free if you're on there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot.
It's hundreds and hundreds of these full color, it's art that's appeared in their old books, and you can use maps and you can all that, and you can use it fine.
Because they allow that because they own for everything that's on there, and that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly,
because I know you did that with your campaign guide.
All my 5e Greyhawk stuff uses that kind of art. Plus, I also use stock art from other people and stuff.
But you got some
from DM's Guild. If you as long as you have a license to use the art, it's fine. But they give you hundreds of pieces of art to use gratis, and that's a big bonus there.
Well, an art budget can be most of a module.
Cost easy, or in your case, the editing can be most of it.
Got him. Got him. Yeah, that's.
I way overpaid you for that editing job, by the way. Don't expect that the next time.
What?
Wait a minute. Wait. Steven, you're pricey as an editor? What the hell?
No. I just threw out a number there based on a number that I had on BackerKit that was wildly optimistic. So
Well, you're a good dude too. So,
but no, you're worth it, Steve. Honestly.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's super interesting. So how do you, in this question is for both of you guys. So how would you, like, for R1 and R2 and what is it? R1, R2, R3?
Yeah.
So how are those being sold? Because they're
not Greyhawk, they're Greyheim.
Big difference.
Okay. And that can go on drive-through, and that can be
that's on drive-through. It's 1E. I do want to correct something that our good friend Agile Monk says. What's irritating is that with DM's Guild and the fan base, WotC get to scan and consume anything. Well, they can consume stuff into their AI stuff anyway, and they're doing it no matter what they tell you. I can guarantee you that. What they are not allowed to, however, they can use your content for free. They don't. They are specifically in the license agreement. It specifically says we can't do that. So everybody thinks that's the case, but no, they can't take my Greyhawk guide and then turn around and take my name off of it and publish it if they wanted to. It's in the license agreement that says they can't do that. So everybody thinks that's true, but it's not in the wording of the agreement. In fact, the opposite is in the wording. So that makes me feel better about publishing there, because I wasn't publishing there for a long time because I thought the same thing, and then I read the agreement carefully, and it says the opposite.
So does DM's Guild, or the owners of DM's Guild, do they own that? Do they own what you?
No, I own it. They have a license to sell it.
Okay, got it.
They don't have a license to reuse it or strip it or whatever.
So you could pull it if you want. You could. It's yours. Okay.
I've
so
done
that's
that. I've
something I
pulled
did.
books before. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. So that's something I did not know.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think we were talking earlier about it and might have misspoke on
No,
that.
it's still yours. I still have the copyright on my books. It's that nothing like that changes just because it's DM's Guild.
Sorry, guys. So I'll read this because I'm going to be doing this. Fire miscellaneous. At 17:30, Woolly. Looks like a house is on fire. Dance mail is it's a bonfire. Okay.
They're calling you for a bonfire. Okay, that's
Nope.
awesome.
Don't have to go.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I think we're working on some maybe some hearsay and some outdated news about.
Yeah, and hell, I believed it for years.
Yeah, that's
it's
interesting.
definitely it's believable.
Right, with as sketchy as these people are to begin with, and how
exactly. If they're willing to send Pinkertons to your neighbors to talk trash about you because they sent you the wrong cards, then yeah, it's very believable that they would say that if you publish through us, we own your stuff. But no, it is not the case in this case.
Never stop saying "stay safe from Pinkertons." That's just it's just love hearing it, man. Like when you finish a video without saying it, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, but we got
when I came in, there was something about Freemasons. What?
Yeah,
in the comments, somebody was like, "What did I miss?"
Yeah, was it Tennessee? Our boy in Tennessee there, he perked up about that. Now I just mentioned that, you think, what does Joe Block know about Freemasons or aliens? You don't know nothing about that. It's because those are two things we talked about in the conspiracy talk video. And then somebody was like, oh, now I'm really interested to talk to Joe Block. Now we don't have any more details on that. But that definitely perked up at least one person. So if you want to circle back in the comments, guy, let us know. Maybe we can talk about that, but maybe we can't talk about it. I don't know. Because a political commentator I normally like, because she shows receipts and this and that. This week was accusing Freemasons of all kinds of stuff that is verifiable internet rumor, as in it's baseless internet rumor. I've done more research into it.
Really big podcaster did an interview with some Catholic priest who was just bringing up the usual nonsense about Freemasonry. Although what I just found today is that in Oklahoma, you can't use the Thelemic Aleister Crowley Book of the Law as your sacred volume of law on the altar in Oklahoma anymore. They used to be able to use that, and the Grand Master just recently said nope, can't do it. So that's causing a bit of a tizzy in certain circles.
I'd say that's sensible on the Grand Master's part.
I'm not so sure.
I mean, we got different opinions on some stuff. Got it, but as same stuff like the Freemasons and the Templars, and they got burned at the stake by the French king for doing all the same horrible things Epstein's people are doing these days. But unlike everything else I've heard her talk about, where she's got days, receipts, references, this and that. This was just blah, 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 and move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I've read into this stuff, and she left out where the Pope found them not guilty of so much of what they were accused of.
A century or two later. So it was a little after the fact.
But, well, the Pope couldn't stop the French king from doing what he did.
Well, the French king did what he did because when there was an early rebellion in France, and he was forced to stay in the Templar castle to protect himself. And while he was there, he saw all of the wealth that they had, and he was in a lot of debt. So when that rebellion went away, he figured, I've just seen all this money that they have. I'm gonna, I got to get this, because he was dirt poor himself. So my theory would be that the reason that all that happened was because the French king saw the wealth the Templars had firsthand, and even though they were helping him, and then decided to destroy the order so he could seize the wealth. So
If I remember right, he owed the Templars like 3 times what France was worth,
something
something
like
in that
that.
neighborhood. So
Yeah.
he had strong incentives to not pay that debt. Yeah, and he wanted the Templar money.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So looks like we got another brother in the chat there, because Tennessee Tabletop Tavern says he's curious what outsiders think of Freemasonry. Well, you're not talking to an outsider here.
We're here.
And I've been at it for a couple decades now. And I talk about in the conspiracy talk with Joe, I wish that I could see evidence that we were involved in anything really exciting and cool, because it's mostly spaghetti dinners with senior
or steak
citizens.
dinners here.
Oh God, no. We it's all Italian here. It's all Italian takeout.
Oh my God, here it's all
Oh, it's
steak.
takeout. Y'all don't even make it.
Well, it depends on the lodge, but my mother lodge, it's all catered from the local Italian restaurants, because
Oh
it's
my
New
God, that's
Jersey
so
and we have
awesome.
like a huge Italian population. So.
Every
Sure.
Monday night or every once a month.
Very nice. Very nice. And I made contact with a few more Masonic bodies, place I'm going to be going soon. And so I got my secretary in touch with their secretary, so they'll know that I'm legit when I show up. So bona fide folks vouching for folks and all that. So, but yeah, it's not so. The Templars still owe you $50, Amic dog. Oh, I need to hear more about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. And seems like Agile Monk's going to tell us the difference between Freemasonry and Masonry. Okay, well, tell us in the chat. We'll see what you got there, Agile
Yeah,
Monk, and I like it.
Is
When
that like the
people,
difference between the Admiralty flag and the regular flag in a courtroom? Like one means it's not a real court or something, or those sovereign citizen things.
those people. Okay.
Those nut jobs.
Yeah, I like the folks that are so 100% confident to tell me exactly what masonry is about, because of with claims that I've investigated and found to be rumors with no basis whatsoever, but they are 100% certain that they're right. And when they say, well, what degree Mason are you? I'll be like, well, 3rd degree Master Mason in my Blue Lodge. I'm a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Mason. I don't even get to the York Rite part. And they say, well, you're not 33rd degree, so you don't know the secret.
Yeah,
I've
you're
met
not
a
high
bunch
enough yet. Yeah.
of, oh, but you are.
The
Rando on
99th
the
degree.
internet.
That's when you learn the real secret.
Because the 33 times 3, and it's all concentric circles. Or
As long as I'm there
down.
to rob cavefish of their site and rig every Oscar night, then I'm
Rob cavefish on their site. That's good. I wish we were half as exciting.
We keep Atlantis off the maps. Yeah.
I wonder how many old schoolers are. I mean, if it's a fair number of people that are play D&D that are are been around, kind of like us, where I guess considered old schoolers are in active. You know what I mean? I wonder if it's a percentage.
I don't know.
Well, it's some percentage. I mean,
yeah,
by definition,
obviously, yeah. I mean, it's 66% here with the one prospecting. Yeah. So, he's on mute.
I don't think I've ever met anybody where it's come up. I mean, Joe's the only one that I've ever talked to about it. So I can verify there's 2, but and like I had a hand in that.
I've seen a few people at conventions and stuff. They have the
Okay.
ring or whatever, but yeah, it's not.
It's not big. Yeah.
Don't
I've
tell
probably
them
met
about
more
the
Star
secret
Trek fans than
games.
Freemasons.
Don't let them know about the secret games that we run, Joe. They can't know about that.
Oh, one of the lodges right by me actually is running a game.
Oh yeah, what are y'all running?
I haven't been there yet to play, but it's like they've got a game that uses it's Masonic themes. It's really a neat concept. Yeah.
Well, in a lodge, you could just go hog wild with all the stuff, and you could.
I don't think that stuff. But do you want to really tile the lodge just so you can roll dice? I mean, that doesn't seem.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that that's a possibility I hadn't even considered before. But I actually have role played in a Masonic lodge at least once, because at Bartlett Lodge number 211, where I was raised, it's just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. I was involved in local gaming circles, and one of my friends was looking for a venue to run a live action Call of Cthulhu game, and he was looking for a venue, he was telling me about it, and I was like, well, I go to this lodge. We don't use it most of the time. Let me ask and see what they would, if they would be acceptable or not for y'all to come do that. And talked to the secretary of the lodge. He was like, yeah, I'll be fine. We don't need any money. Just clean up after yourselves. No alcohol, because Grand Lodge of Tennessee strict about no alcohol.
Yeah, we have to get like a certification from the state. Somebody with that certification has to be present if alcohol is being served.
Okay. And so we made this spaghetti dinner up, and that was part of the scenario where it was a retiring college professor invites all his students in, and he's got this weird butler that's following him around everywhere. And at the dinner, he dies, but not before he's passed along to me, his like co-DM Patsy, um, the hidden script that when I read it, it blows my mind. And my instructions from then are to pass it to someone else, get them to read it, and once they've done that, go off myself. So I passed it off, went into the bathroom, and I had a toy gun and pop myself, and then slumped down against the inside of the door. So I was laying there for a while till somebody came to try to use the bathroom, and the door just, they had to really push it. And they're like, "Oh, he's dead," and hijinks ensued.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a game. It was a fantastic time.
Yeah, Brass Monkey, the Y-Files. That's the thing I was thinking of with the
yeah. Y-Files is great. I don't know if you guys
no, that's the one that had the jackass
yeah, I mean, I don't know about that particular show he's talking about, but I watched that for various reasons. He talks about some pretty cool conspiracy theory-esque stuff.
And Matthew Sherman, can you bring up Matthew Sherman's thing about pole dancers again?
I know, I flashed it on it really quick.
Because when I read that, I read face dancers, and I'm like, how did Dune get in this?
No,
yeah, I would think face
free pole dancers. So free pole.
No, face dancers are a thing in Dune, and they're going to be in the new movie that's coming.
Okay, I gotcha. But it's a naughty comment there, Matt.
Yeah, bad comment. By the way, guys,
go ahead.
By the way, I do want to give a shameless plug for all three of us here. If you are not a subscriber to Stephen Clements' channel, which we did talk about a little bit earlier, he's got a channel that does all kinds of really cool stuff: module reviews, interviews, book reviews, movie reviews. What's that?
Dramatic recitals.
I dig out. You get all dressed up too, and yeah, it's so cool. So check out his channel. It is Stephen Clements. You can't miss it if you look for that in YouTube. So yeah, go on there and subscribe to him. If you're subscribed to mine or Joe's, go over and check out his. Those of you guys that are not subscribed to Greyhawk Grognard, he is one of the world-renowned people for the world of Greyhawk, and does a lot of Greyhawk material, and is one of the best in the industry about that. So please go on to his channel and support him too. I will, and I said this before, if I have a question about Greyhawk, he's the guy I ask.
Thank
you. Go and check out his channel, and I will plug mine too, the DM and Friends. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please come on there and subscribe and check out my content. I do a lot of how to be a better DM type materials, reviews, Greyhawk material, stuff like that. So we all kind of do a lot of the same stuff, and we're all kind of cut
anybody who's watching this on my channel, subscribe to them. That's
them.
Subscribe to I got it. How does this work? Just subscribe to both of them, because
yeah. And I will say this too. I am at currently 2,495 subscribers, which I am actually blown away.
Woo.
So 5 away from 2,500, the milestone of 2,500. So
And can we
thank you
just do a
guys
shout
so
out to
much.
Agile Monk, who's just like, I don't know of a channel he doesn't support.
I know he's one of my biggest supporters, and what a stand-up dude too. Like,
Yeah, really.
such a really great guy, and loves the community like we do. You know, I think I can't probably not say this, but I'm sure everybody that's watching has got some type of love for the community, or you wouldn't be watching. So yeah, I love it with all my heart and owe it my life. So there it is. So yeah, anyway, shameless plug for all three of us. You guys check it out. Go on there and do all the subscribes and the things. Yeah. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
But-
cool. Was
but
the
anyway.
was the Catholic guy you were talking about? I think you said it was a priest that was just spouting gobbledygook. Was that Father Cahill? Because
Might
I've
be,
seen him
honestly.
on some stuff, and he's just full of it all the
It
time.
might very well be. I don't remember the name, to be honest.
Okay, because I when interesting video comes up like right now, Tucker Carlson, I'm listening to one of him talking to some Catholic priest who's supposed to have a background in exorcism, and exorcism's interesting. No matter what you think it actually is, it's an interesting topic, and the guy's very detailed in his information, but I can't shake the sense that some of what he's saying is bullshit, and I don't know how much of it is because it just fits too perfect into the story that he's telling. And when something's too perfect, like because one key thing that Joe hits on, and that I love him for and giving people this direction is reality's messy. So if your fantasy stories are messy, if your fantasy religions are messy, they're going to be more believable because nothing's absolutely perfect. Um, and so that was a great observation of yours. I'm glad you put it out.
He says that Mason guy is a geologist and has a show on History Channel. You know,
Okay.
doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that episode of the Y-Files either, so I'm probably the wrong person to speak on it.
I know
so.
Randall Carlson is does a lot of the rounds, and he's a he's a past master, and he hangs out with Graham Hancock a lot. I'm a fan of both of them. So I don't know.
Yeah, I like Graham Hancock stuff for obvious reasons.
Yep. And gives the best hug I've ever had from anybody. And I'm not even like an uber Graham Hancock fan, but if you ever get a chance to hug Graham Hancock, try it. You'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, make sure you ask first. Don't just run up on him and do it. It probably won't be a good hug.
From behind.
Don't do that. So are you drinking the silver bullet there, Joe?
Always, yes.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Gotcha. We did our drink check earlier. I finished my gin and tonic. And are you done with your bourbon?
I still got a little bit left here, just a little bit. It's a little watered down now, so.
Oh, I just got to chug it then.
So, switching subjects a little bit. Joe, I watched one of your recent videos about. I forgot the exact title, but you were talking about what makes an awesome DM.
Yeah,
and that's a title dear to my heart. Not title, but that's a subject dear to my heart. I would love to hear. Some people might not have heard your take on it. I would love to hear from both of you guys, and what that is, and also you mentioned this book, Stephen. I know you're doing reads through it. I was thinking about the idea of deep diving into this, and I think you'd be a great candidate to go through that and talk about it, because I think there's a lot of I will say there's a lot of BS in here and a lot of fluff, but there's a lot of really great points too that Gary brings up in this book. I don't know if you've read this before, Joe, but
I read it when it came out.
Yeah,
I got it over there.
Yeah. So, what makes an awesome DM? I want to hear from both of you guys. And I don't want to hear the script or the verbatim from your video too, by the way, Joe. So Go ahead.
I'm ashamed to say it. I don't remember what I said. So you won't be getting the script that I did in my video.
Yeah.
I remember what I said. Because remember, my videos I do 2 weeks in advance.
Sure.
So that to me is already like 4 videos behind me.
Oh yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. So no, you're good. You're not going to get the canned answer out of the thing.
The mission accomplished.
I've already recorded videos 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in a liminal state where I don't know what I said, because I know what I said today, but that's not what anybody heard today. It's like I'm a time traveler.
Well, good. Off the cuff. I mean, what comes to your mind? Yeah.
But when I saw your interview for today being advertised in the premiere, it said, on the Greyhawk Grognard channel, interview Joe Block Greyhawk Grognard. And I was thinking, is he going to interview himself? What is this? Because I wasn't subscribed to the other guy's channel.
I should set one up where it's like me, and then I'll put like a hat on, and I'll have a different background, and I'll just do a Q&A with myself. That would be.
You can flip back from camera to camera.
Just do the camera back and forth.
Finally, an interviewer worthy
camera angle.
of me.
Yeah.
Feel free to use that. I would love to see that.
Let me see if I can mimic that really quick here.
I did a video like that once years ago, where I was like asking myself questions, and I'd have different costumes, and it was like a quick thing, like a quick edit thing. It must like 3-4 years ago that I did it, and like I was wearing my son's beanie as one of the characters, and it was I should do that. And every time I did it, I moved it somewhere different in the house, so I had a different background behind me. But
I wonder if I've seen that, because I've seen all your videos.
It was a long time ago. I'd have to dig to find it.
I mean, I remember your Morden Kanan hairstyle video.
The rolling the dice.
That was so good.
When I shaved, yeah.
Let's see. Well, some comments. The All About Me show. I like that.
There you go. How's that?
You're still getting.
There you go.
Yes. Now see if you can angle to where your images are looking at each other.
Yeah.
Somebody touched on a really key point about DMing, as you're the one responsible for running the table, and this person also commented that there was a bunch of players showing up with backstories, and they weren't right for the game. You're the DM. You're running the game. You're the one who gets to decide what game gets run, and if people don't like it, they can run a game. Because if you're not having a good time, if you don't want to run this game, it's going to show, and it's going to fall apart, and then no one's going to be happy. So run what is interesting to you, and encourage your players to get into that, to explore that world. I think that's an important part. Start off on the right foot. You're not some uncompensated servant that the players just get to whip around until they get what they want. Start off with motivated to do that. You're in love with the game that you're about to run. Like the intro basic D&D adventure I'm going to run for Freezer, Matt Sherman, a couple other folks. I love the module, Zanzer's Dungeon from the Black Box, and we'll run it as many times as I can. I've ran it like 12 times. We'll run it 12 times more if I'm lucky. Show up ready for a good time, and that'll help. Joe, what do you got?
Mine is going to be about improv. You need to be, and this is a skill. It is a skill like any other, and like any other skill, you need to practice it. You need to be able to have an idea of how you want the game to go, but don't be afraid to let the players deviate from that plan.
Oh yeah,
I've seen too many DMs. They came up with this brilliant thing. See, now my video is coming back to me now that I'm yapping. Is that they think they have this brilliant idea, and the players are going to do it no matter what.
Yeah,
and the players will get frustrated. You will get frustrated. Don't be afraid to pivot on your plan. And the best thing you can do is listen to your players.
Yep.
Because when you've got this complicated thing going on and the players are going to be talking about it, you got 6 people all exchanging ideas and whatever, listen carefully, because half the time they're going to come up with a better idea than you had.
Yeah.
And then you don't even have to, don't say any word, poker face, and you change what you had planned to match what they had. And that does 2 things. It makes them feel brilliant because they figured out what you had planned, even though it's not. You're just going with what they think you planned. But it also makes you look brilliant in their eyes because they figured out your brilliant plan. So you must be brilliant because they're brilliant. So it does all these things on different levels. And the third thing is the best background and backstory and everything in your dungeon as a DM is meaningless unless you give the players a way to figure it out. Because I've seen paragraphs and paragraphs of background. Oh, the sword came from here and it's got this history and these people are doing all these different things. And there's zero way for the players to know that. You might as well just have not written anything.
Yep.
Because this isn't for you. If you want to do that, write a novel.
Yeah.
If you want to write a game, give the players a way to figure out your brilliant backstory and your brilliant politics, because otherwise it's not worth anything. And the one I use as an example of this is the D series, D1 through 3, because yes, there's all this intricate politics, and they have these weird map and what are these the pins for. But the module also gives you opportunities to interrogate captured drow merchants and other things, so that you don't just have all these mysteries showing around. You actually have opportunities to learn about the environment you're going into. And the only way you're going to be really successful and really enjoy the experience of going through D1 through 3 is if you have already gotten the lay of the land. You have the broad strokes. Okay, this house hates this house, and I work for this house who's allied to that house. If you have that background, your experience of those modules is going to be infinitely better than if you're just going through killing everything and not listening to any of the captives or the allies or whatever. That's my 3 things. And then I finally remembered what I said 2.5.
Yeah, I think you hit them all, because I just watched that video like within the past couple days. So
yeah, we're in different time streams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, person from the past. Your ways are quaint.
Yeah, those are all really good points. In my idea of this kind of changes on a daily basis, but I have a couple kind of core ideas that I think that I kind of rely on, if you guys want to hear them.
No, stop.
So, okay.
Obviously we want to hear it. We're on your show.
So yeah, I know I'm messing with y'all. So one thing that I talk about a lot in my videos is, number one, these are the things I think that make a great DM, right? So number one is you have to learn how to protect the table. All right. If you don't protect the table in various ways, you don't have a game. So that means by making the hard decisions of, you know what, man, this might not be the right game for you, or those kind of things, or dealing with, player spotlight and, somebody that's overpowering everybody else. So, and so that's one thing. And that's a tough thing for DMs to do. I've seen a lot of failures, and myself too. I've done a poor job of this. So that's number one. I'm a light prep DM. Now, the reason why I'm a light prep DM is because I know my world. So I think that's another thing. You have to know your world. You have to know your lore. You have to know how to give that lore to your players and let them run with it. You know what I mean? I think this is a minor piece because it really depends on system to system, but I think you have to also know your rule set, right? And you have to know it well enough to, yeah, there you go. To be able to make those decisions on the fly. Boom, 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 boom. Right. And I think you can get away with it. Good DMs can get away with, kind of ripping through and just making rulings instead of like, oh man, what's on page 63? Some of us know what's on page 63, some don't. The other thing I would say is, and you guys kind of touched on this, embrace, like, that whole railroading thing where you have an idea, you already kind of talked about it, Joe. If you have an idea and it goes wrong and everybody's upset now, well, you gotta embrace the crazy ideas that your players have, because if there is a trap that you make, or a scene, or a theme, or a something, and they go all the way around it, or they find a way through it that you never thought of, bonus.
Good.
Mission accomplished.
They won.
Good on them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But a lot of DMs don't know how to handle that. You know what I mean?
My precious world element.
Yeah, don't know how to handle.
up, yeah.
And that goes with the improv, that goes with just the flexibility, being able to just react to situations, or not really just react, but to go with the flow. Like, oh, wow, they really figured that out. Good for them. You know what I mean? And the other thing too is, and this is my final one, I think that a good DM knows how to let the players drive the game. You know what I mean?
And when not to.
And when not to, exactly. And that goes with my other point too, where, if they want to go that direction, don't get all, your panties all in a wide because they want to go this way instead of the way you thought they were going to go. You know what I mean? So, those are skills that are developed. I don't know if there's anybody that can just go right in, because I've seen a lot of new DMs go into games and they have this grandiose idea of something and it doesn't happen. And then they get kind of like, oh crap, what do I do now?
Yeah, because players can come up with the my precious character syndrome. Well, DMs can do that with so many more elements.
My precious NPC, my precious trap.
That's so funny that you say that. Yeah.
Something that a lot of people lose sight of is that, first and foremost, this is a game. It's not an interactive novel. I was listening to somebody talk about, I think it was Seth Skorkowski. He was talking about a scenario he went through. A Call of Cthulhu 2-hour session at a con. Him and some other celebrities were up there playing through it for an audience, and he described it, and he wasn't really satisfied with it because the players didn't have a whole lot of control over it. He had a great time, but basically it was just an interactive, one act play, and the outcome was going to be what it was going to be. They were going to do what they're going to do. And so player agency wasn't a thing. Everything they did was just window dressing on it. And that can be fun because people have been going to theatrical productions and movies for as long as we've had them. We invented them. We like having them, but that's not a game. A game has rules. It has random outcome generators. You gotta go. You gotta get that thick skin. You have to accept that chaos rules the game table.
I had Tracy Hickman on my channel.
You did,
amazingly.
That was a good interview.
We talked about that very thing. That's what brought him on, was the transition from game to story. From exploration to you want to tell a story, and we talked about that very thing. About where is that line? What is when does I have a story in mind turn into railroading, and your options aren't really options, but yeah,
it doesn't matter what you do.
It's definitely, it's been a conundrum since Dragonlance came out.
Yeah.
Well, and depending on what game system you're running, this can be interpreted a little bit differently, just like different DMs can have different philosophies of what it means to be a good DM. But, a storyteller system should run differently than Dungeons and Dragons. Because to use Vampire as an example, because I mention it every damn time I'm on your show, it's awesome, is that the adventures that the storytellers encourage to come up with are scenes. and then there's, you just kind of hand wave or briefly summarize the thing that happened between the scenes, but the decisions the player characters make in each scene influences the directions things go. So there's still chaos there, but the storyteller is much more of a director. And as a vampire storyteller, I'm perfectly within my purview to give acting directions and notes to my
Yeah.
players, because it's supposed to be an amateur acting experience. Dungeons and Dragons isn't that, though. You can
Yeah.
make it that, but by default, it's not that. And like the Dragonlance series that y'all talked about, and is a controversial topic. I don't see what's so difficult about, you okay. A conceit of this is you do have to go through these different
Yeah.
scenes, but your decisions color what each subsequent scene's going to be. Now I know those
But
modules
they
didn't,
don't.
but at your table you can fix that.
Yeah.
But if Raceland dies in DL1,
Yeah. You're screwed.
he's got stuff to do in DL2, so he
Yeah.
has to
Right.
come back to life. That's the conundrum
Yeah.
of something like that.
Yeah, no, I
if
get
you're
you.
committed to really doing the story, then different people have different roles in different parts of the story, and that's the real question of how you reconcile that.
Yeah.
It's something like in Babylon 5, the TV show. He had he had off ramps for all of the characters. He already had that written because he had 5 seasons of this story written, and he had off ramps for every single one of the characters. Because what happens if the actor dies? You need to have a way to deal with that and still
have a way out
forward.
Yeah.
I think, and of course, Dragonlance is the obvious example of this, but because it was the first, they didn't really think in those terms. They hadn't the experience to really think it through in terms of you're making this game, but you want to tell a story, but you need to accommodate the fact that it's a game. I think, and I just thought of this tonight. If you had Dragonlance to do all over again, you might have a section for the DM. What happens if Raceland dies in DL1? Who comes to take that place? Who does the things that Raceland needs to do later on? Or what happens if those things don't get done? You kind of make it this kind of branching thing. But you need to have that scaffolding of support for the DM to know, okay, yes, there's a 13 module story that wants to happen. Yeah. What happens if things go wonky in DL4?
Number 1? Yeah.
If somebody dies in DL4 who is needed in DL8, what do you do? And have a page of that at the beginning of each module, and just say impacts of player death or something. Yeah. But I mean, it's going to take a lot more work. It's a lot more work to do something like that and have a story that is robust enough that can deal with that kind of change. But I think that could actually be amazing if you could pull it off. 13 is probably too much. I might do it with 3.
Yeah.
So I think we just came up with a project there, Joe.
I'll add it to my pile
because you don't have enough to do.
Jesus Christ, I'll add it to the list. Yeah.
Well, wasn't DL1 through 13? Weren't they mimicked the novels, right?
Well, not exactly. No.
There were some things in the modules that weren't in the
because like one of the modules was the war game. It was a hex encounter war game. So they didn't map exactly to the novels because the original novels were the trilogy, right? They, autumn, twilight, winter, whatever.
Summer,
and spring, dawning, whatever. So there were like 3 or 4 novels, but there were obviously a lot more modules than that. So the things, it wasn't a straight mapping. The story was generally the same.
So, right?
Yeah, the story was generally the same, but it's not like there was a module of the first novel.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's what I meant. I think that the story arc was the same as what the novels were, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So players going into it are expected to. So it's written that way. It was really how it was written. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like you're. So kind of to double click on what you're saying, it was. Going into those modules, you think that these characters are going to survive. is
Right.
what is really kind of, you know.
And you need to turn it
and
into
the
Game
plot-
of Thrones, where you're not sure anybody's going to see.
No kidding.
Yeah. And John Miller.
And John Miller, yeah. We actually talked about that in the interview about turning it into a more sandboxy thing.
Yeah.
That because obviously Tracy's had decades to think about it. So yeah.
And countless people heckling him for it.
Yeah.
Deservedly or not, I'm not saying, but they have been. And both of y'all have spoken to something that's important in being able to play fast and loose, to be able to react quickly, is understanding the game environment.
Yeah.
So if you have a
That's great.
sandbox, knowing what the lay of the land is, who the key characters are. In the last vampire game I ran, I had it was set in the Byzantine Empire, something I'm incredibly familiar with. And so if the players went off on this route instead of this route, I knew what the place was like. I knew what the culture was like. I could auto populate a bunch of stuff. But if I
Yeah.
didn't know much about it, sure, I could make some stuff up, but I would probably be less comfortable doing it. But for like a given session, I'd have like 8 single lines, and that's all the planning I had to do because
It's
I
like me and
knew the
Greyhawk.
because I knew the
Yeah.
NPCs that could possibly get to them, and I knew the areas they could possibly get to.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to know. But you do need a foundation of knowledge.
And you can
Now
fill in the
that takes
blanks.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, like I was talking about, DMs pick where you want to play. If you love, 13th century England, reskin that or just run it.
Yeah.
Or Shanghai your folks into Pendragon games because it deserves more play. It's a great game.
It is a great
Yeah.
game.
It's a good
Mm.
one. Yeah.
In fact, I have I'm developing an idea of doing a Pendragon like game in Greyhawk, where it's an Arthurian chivalric game and everybody's a paladin or cavalier or something,
Love
and it
it.
takes place in like Nyrond or Furiondi or something like that, and there's quests that mimic the quest for the Grail, and it's just it's percolating in the back of my mind. And it
Ooh.
might come out in like
Love it.
6 years, so who knows?
That's great.
Yeah.
It's really good. Fortunately, the Pendragon system, how it operates, in its seasons, it's really modular. It's very simple. It's easy to plug and play, just like On Guard. All Pendragon is a reskin, slightly more complicated On Guard, but it's easy.
I was
Easy
thinking
to play.
Mouse Guard when you said that, so yeah.
No, On Guard, the 1975 game from Game Designers Workshop that I play once a month,
Mhm.
where you pretend to be a Frenchman, getting drunk, chasing mistresses, and getting in duels over nothing
What do you mean
in the
pretend?
streets of Paris. It's not live action yet. We talked about doing live action games before, but our wives would probably not be our wives if we did.
The only time I've actually I had all of the World of Darkness stuff. And I've only played it a handful of times, and one of the few times I played it, it was a LARP here at my house. And
Wow.
nobody knew, the other players didn't know I was playing. I was like upstairs in the kitchen because Joe's not in the campaign. So and I worked this out with the game master is I was end up playing this ancient vampire who was like behind, the big bad guy, and I would surprise them all. But they would come out on the deck, and I was there on a throne, in the whole thing, and they completely took them by surprise because I wasn't in the campaign at all, and there I was as the big bad.
Nice.
When I was supposed to be upstairs making dinner. So it was great. We were able to really pull it off on them. And I was completely vamping. I had no idea who any of them were or anything. I was just completely just improvising the whole conversation.
But did your character have even one sordid love affair?
No, it was maybe.
Then you haven't done it. If you didn't do it in game, if it didn't happen on screen, it doesn't count.
And they were all terrified of me. And
do you remember the name of your character? I'm curious if it was a canon character or not.
No, this was years and years ago.
I got you.
Yeah. Wow.
But if you haven't gotten into one fang banging relationship where you're bloodbound to each
Fang-banging.
other, then you haven't played real vampire.
And when I do play, I always play a mummy because no
course you
one
do.
knows what they do.
Yeah.
It's a complete you're always a complete mystery to everybody else at the table, and that's why I love it, because I know what the mummies do, and it's really great to screw with people when you can do stuff that they've never read the book. They don't even own the book for mummies, and you know it's always cool to be able to pull that out. But
Yeah, they're
I
nasty, and they're definitely nasty in World of Darkness.
yeah.
Squishy. If you get the drop on them, it's over. But if
That's
they've
why
got
they're
any
smart
drop
enough to
on,
not let you get the drop on them.
that's the key. Man, we
Yeah.
got some on guard gamers and at least one Pendragon aficionado in the comments. We have a
Yeah.
very
a couple
high
of nice-
level.
Yeah, but how many
quality.
mouse guard aficionados are there out there? Let's
I've
hear
I
from the
never
think
mouse
played
it's
guard.
just you in your
I
fursuit.
it is not me. It's-
Yeah.
Bang, bang, fang, fang. No, I'm not talking about Eric
No.
Swalwell.
Here we go. Now we're politics.
I didn't come up with that.
So back to kind of back to the we were talking about railroading a little bit. You know, I feel like tournament modules can be obviously railroady, right? But
They can be, they don't have to be.
yeah.
I mean,
and
you know, on the one hand, you have something like G1. It's not particularly railroady, but then you get A3 where, the same thing's going to happen at the end no matter what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, they don't have to be. And even something like White Plume Mountain, you know, you have to hit the 3 spokes.
You got to do the
thing
to get the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to necessarily do it in the, you know, you're on a mission. Being on a mission isn't necessarily a railroad. It's the scenario. It's the goal. You know, you're
it's
set
the
a
thing
goal.
you're there to do.
Yeah.
It's exactly. You know, that's not like, I don't think that's the same as a railroad. A railroad is you have to do this and then this and then this. That's different than you need to get these 3 things. Go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't see many people complain about dungeons being a railroad when there's one way generally down a tunnel. You can go down that tunnel or you cannot. But if you want to finish the mission, you got to go down that tunnel.
Yeah.
But you know, the railroad is the restriction of your free will and how you approach it, and that I get that's how you can irk people.
Yeah, and I guess I'm not necessarily saying railroad. I mean railroady situations too, and I think you, Joe, talked about a little bit. You were saying give them a way out or whatever, but you know, every situation, you know, think about like Tomb of Horrors, right? You know, very specific things you have to do to get past certain things, right? And that's in a DM's mind, right? As he's going in. But if they find their way around that, you know what I mean? That's where I think, you know, that's the moment for players. But you know, I want to ask you guys this, and we have a Star Trek fan on here too. So what is the scenario again that they call that is the Kumbanashi? What is it?
Kobayashi Maru.
Yes. So I want to ask you guys: have you ever put your players through something like that?
No.
No. Okay.
And now that you say it, I probably should have, but no.
And well, an unwinnable scenario.
Yeah.
I haven't intentionally put any of my players into that. They have worked their way into scenarios.
Yeah.
They doomed themselves.
Yeah.
And I made no attempt to save them once they passed all the warning signs. And then they got screwed up, and that's all there was going to be to it. Now, if I did do it, I didn't do it with any sense of artistry or skill or finesse. It was inexperience where I had my precious thing I was going to do, and I was going to do it. Dang it. but you learn, so all the things that we're talking about, if you don't feel like you have the experience to really capitalize on these DM tips we're talking about, we didn't start off perfect. You got to get the experience. You got to get the runtime and the playtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Fang Bang is the word of the night.
You're welcome.
Where the hell did you come up with that?
I didn't come up with fang banging. And extra points if it's some sort of some manner of homosexual tryst in vampire. I think White Wolf would give you like bonus points
I
in
think
LARP if you did
polysexual
that.
is really the.
Yeah. Well, the most memorable story in all, or the most memorable character arcs in all of Old World of Darkness was a gay thruple um, involving the Archangel Michael and Constantinople. And like it like messes me up to this day because I'm like, oh, the feelings were so hard. It was bad. But I'm completely in love with that character, Michael the Archangel, as they have him presented there. Now he's a delusional vampire, but that's part of the personal horror if you get too close to him.
Do you remember the TV show? The Vampire the Masquerade TV show? It was called Kindred the Embraced.
Loved it.
Yes, I have that on
the DVDs.
Yes, I've rewatched them in the past 3 years, I think.
I haven't watched it in like 20 years, but I remember really enjoying that show.
Yeah.
I thought it was great and a good representation of it. And a lot of vampire fans will get mad because they'll be like, oh, it's Vampire 90210. Well, one, it was produced by Aaron Spelling, so of course it was 90210. But also, have you read the source material?
Yeah. I'm like, Vampire is 90210.
Vampire 90210. It's all relationship drama. Now, there's meta plot that comes along later, but the actual night to night games is that. Yeah.
I remember the name of one of the episodes was called The Rise and Fall of Eddie Fiore. And I thought that was the best name of a TV show episode because it was just perfect for and that's the actor who played Eddie Fiore. He's one of the what's the clan that
character actor? Oh, he was a Bruja.
He was a Bruja.
Yeah.
They're like the gangsters. And he's a character actor. He's been in everything.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just a terrific thing. And then, of course, he's still there the next episode. But
yeah, I really liked that character and the actor Brian Thompson. He's a funny looking guy, and he's not necessarily the best actor. But
was he the lead?
No, the lead was Frankel. Was his last name, and he was great.
Guy died in a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, he was the Ventrue Julian Luna, but the Bruja guy was played by Brian Thompson, big muscle guy, strange looking face, but he brings an intensity to his roles, and he has that great voice, very threatening, and I thought he did a good job in that.
Yeah, he was in Deep Space Nine a bunch of times. I know he did a Jem'Hadar, and he was something else in another episode. So he's got that presence. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's intimidating. He was well cast, I thought. But yeah, the '90s had some really interesting experimental concepts, and I hope that studios have lost enough money to where they realize that just having cut and paste scripts and movies might not be the best thing. So maybe they should give some original ideas a chance and run with it.
Well, we'll see what happens with Doomsday. Speaking of cut and paste scripts, apparently they don't have a final script yet. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think they're doing the scrapbooking thing with it, and yikes.
Who was that for? I missed that. I didn't hear that.
For Doomsday, the Doctor Doom movie with the MCU.
Oh.
Apparently they're from what I've seen online, they're scrapbooking it, which means they just shoot a ton of scenes and then they stitch them together after the fact.
Yeah. Got it.
Well, that's why I think the Hobbit trilogy was such an atrocity, is because Jackson showed up. He didn't have a script, so he was winging it the whole time. Now he knew the material, but
Yeah.
he had to play to runtime that the studio wanted apparently, and he didn't have a plan. So no wonder it came out lifeless and kind of fell
There've been
flat.
fan edits that kind of whittle it down to a single 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah, and that's what it should have been.
And
Yeah.
and then I watched the Rankin Bass one, and they get it all taken care of in 90 minutes
Friggin' nailed, and you remember it to this day.
with the songs
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah.
Where there's a
That's
whip, there's a way.
No, that's
Uh-huh.
the Return of the King.
Different
You were
Rankin
right.
Bass
You're
movie.
thinking of down to Goblin Town, down
No,
to
no.
Goblin Town.
Wait a minute. That was
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
That was The Hobbit. Yeah.
Goblin Town's The Hobbit. Where there's a whip, there's a way is Return of the King, which was also Rankin Bass.
Yeah.
They did a
Really?
separate Return of the King movie.
I still wish that either they had done a Two Towers or Bakshi had gotten to do his second part, because his first half of what he was going to do was so memorable. Little weird in spots, but Bakshi's weird in
It's
spots.
Bakshi. I mean, this is the guy
But
who
it
did
was cool.
Wizards and Fire and Ice, for crying out loud, and Fritz the Cat. You're
But
not gonna.
I think it was his best. Like, that's the thing of his that I enjoy the most, because he was given constraints. He had to stick to a story, and limitations breed creativity. And boy, did he tell that story.
I would argue for honestly Wizards. Much as I like his Lord of the Rings, I think Wizards is just so gonzo. And it fits the fantasy genre so well.
Yeah.
It's
I'm gonna
got
have to rewatch that.
You never watched it?
No, I'm gonna have to rewatch that. That's
But you're not a fan?
I've got a review coming out sometime in the next month of that, and no.
Wait,
not.
what? Oh, you're not?
Of Wizards. Yeah, no, it's terrible. And I've got
Really?
some very
Oh,
Are we
man.
talking about the right Wizards here?
the animated movie.
The animated Wizards.
Yes, I know.
It's rotoscoped like
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if a high schooler dropped acid and had a Hitler obsession, that's the movie you get.
But you got Princess Eleanor in there. Come on, how can you?
I mean,
I'm 13
she was.
and I'm watching Princess Eleanor.
That's why you like it.
Well, of course, that's why I like it.
Okay,
I'm still
so
13 and watching.
so at
It's
9,
watching
Loth warped Angelo, and at 13, is Prince. Okay, we're
13
getting
warped
everybody's
Wizards.
secrets
But
out
I
today.
genuinely think it's a very creative and very
That's
worthy
creative.
thing. Yeah, I still think it's a very good movie.
Brass Monkey
Fire and
says
Ice,
heavy
I
metal.
thought was a little dull.
I thought it was good enough.
It
Like
was
a
good.
6.5 out of
enough.
10.
And I went in
Watch
on the Kickstarter for they were doing a board game with miniatures and stuff
Oh yeah.
like 2-3 years ago. It's nothing's ever happened, so I'm not. That's $120 I'm never going to see, but but just the thought of getting those neat figures of the guy with the panther hat on, and but another one I didn't really care for his was Fritz the Cat. I mean, I know it's like the seminal thing. Don't who's calling me at 20 to 12?
The Greyhawk phone has rung.
Yeah, somebody
must
needs
go.
Somebody wants to talk to you about Q1.
The cake thing off the phone and called. Okay,
He's
hold
gonna
on a second.
move the map
Get it,
aside
go ahead.
and step through a portal to the Flynn-S.
I kind of wish that they did in the light of that Frank movie, in the lights of for Lord of the Rings. I wish they would have continued, because I liked that. I don't know what they call that type of filming that they did, where it's half animation, half
Rotoscoping.
Is that what they call it? Okay,
Yeah.
So you know about that a lot more than I do. But I mean that was a big influence for me for growing up, because I mean that I think watched that before I even played D&D, because it was in the 70s when it came out. And man,
rotoscoping is when they draw on top of the film.
Yeah.
brass monkey. That's cold.
What did he say?
Oh,
That's awesome, dude.
oh,
That,
burn of the night.
that is
Oh,
awesome, man.
get
That
me
is,
down.
that's awesome.
Oh, I got nothing after that. I got
That
nothing.
was so good.
That was that. Oh yeah, you got
Oh.
it. That's a
Woo.
okay. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Let's see.
Oh wait, we got let me bring
Super
this back here.
chat.
Yeah, hey, they're calling him back. Oh my god, table
Yeah, I think
Third time.
table TN Tabletop Tavern. I know you're also Death. Oh my god, I'm gonna mess it up. But thank you for the thank you for the I guess that's the super chat, right? Yeah, thank you so much, dude. That's really awesome. He says,
Yeah.
speaking of the 90s TV show, someone mentioned B5 RPG on an interview, Stevens. I'm a weekly stream analyzing episodes, dying to find a B5 game. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
I saw
Thank
that
you.
when
Thank you for that support, man. I appreciate it.
I have the or at least I had the core rule book for that.
yeah, at he's mentioning the TotalCon report. My friend Patrick Driver was telling me about one of the people in the Dead Game Society at TotalCon had scheduled to run a Babylon 5 game and no one showed. So
Oh, he did say that. You're right.
canceled.
Wow.
So if you go to TotalCon, Tennessee Tabletop Tavern, and ask nicely to the Dead Game Society, they might run it again, but you
Yeah.
had to show up.
One of the most interesting things I saw at TotalCon this year, somebody was running the Transformers RPG.
That would
It
be
was like
cool.
a battle at an airport. I wasn't playing. I was running my game at another table, and they had this big battle laid out on at an airport, and it looked fantastic. I mean, it's mostly a skirmish game. It's not much of an RPG. You know, it's a skirmish game with Transformers from Gen 1. And you know, what more do I want in a game, honestly?
Seriously.
But yeah, it looked really cool.
Now you weren't vending this time, were you?
No, I was a guest and running games all weekend.
Were you one of the folks that fled the blizzard?
I did. I left early. I was supposed to run Mad Archmage again on Sunday, and I ended up leaving Saturday night because I was going right into it.
Yeah, that's right.
Just the direction of the storm and everything, and you know, I was really, you know, I felt awful, but there was no way. And it turned out to be the right move because Sunday, I was hearing horror stories from people, and I was driving more than most people, so you know, and right into the head of the storm, so
right into it.
Yeah. Although it's funny because I was following my GPS to get home, and I thought it was taking me on the upper deck of the George Washington Bridge, and I was having a panic attack because as I get older, I find I don't like bridges when I drive. And, you know, if I'm on the bottom deck of a bridge, I can handle it. But being on the top deck, seeing things go up, it reminds me, you ever had those dreams where like you're flying and then you're flying, and then you crash?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. And that's why I literally, my heart starts going, and it's only a certain kind of bridge. If it's a bridge where I can see the horizon the whole way and it doesn't have these big soaring things in the sky, I'm fine. Doesn't bother me at all. But if I get it in my head that things are going to start flying into the air, there's a bridge near Savannah from Hilton Head that's like that. It's like a freaking roller coaster. And I got on it by accident once, and I was going like 10 miles an hour in the middle lane of everything. And who the hell thinks it's a good idea to have two lanes? You know, you got one lane going this way and one lane going that way, and there's a gap in between. Who the hell thought that's a good idea? I want to be as far from the edge as I can, and they're making edges in the middle. That's my rant. That's my rant.
So we got Chris Clark checking in.
Hey,
we talked about
Chris
you
Clark,
a lot earlier. Yep.
Inner City Games.
All good things. Yep. But no, I get you. No, that makes sense to me.
Oh, Peter
So,
Jurassic. That should be a hoot. He
yeah.
played
Did
Londo on B5.
did did a lot of people split early? I mean, they had to.
Oh yeah,
'cause,
a lot of people were
yeah, I
going
think I
early.
remember.
Eric Tenkar left like Sunday morning. But yeah, I was not the only person who booked out. They they were very understanding about it. The con people, and it was a great con for while I was there. And but it's just the Sunday just fell apart. Yeah.
So were you running just a Dungeons of the Mad Mage, or did you do anything else?
Yeah, what else did you do?
I did. Let's see, what did I run?
I mean, it makes
did,
sense to give people a chance to play your stuff with the guy who wrote it. I mean, that's a great thing.
Yeah, no, I did. I did 2 sessions of Mad Archmage, and I think I was supposed to do a third one on Sunday.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's plenty of.
How'd they
stuff
go?
to run.
Really well. I mean, it's the new level that's going to be on Backer Kit next
Oh.
week.
Oh,
And so
Nice.
I was, it's got a lot of factions, and it's not something that you just go in and start killing shit. It's you interact with the factions. So, there's the gnolls from level 5 are moving into this side level. There's a colony of gladiators who've escaped from level 4 of the main dungeon who've come in here to escape. There's a cult of a reptile thing. There's an invasion from the Unseelie court. A rebel from the Unseelie court has invaded the castle, and there's an undead army that just wants to be left alone. And you're navigating all of these different alliances and stuff, and they did it perfectly. They were interacting with the cult, and then and the cult sent them to attack the gladiators, and they joined the gladiators, and the gladiators asked them to kill the gnolls, and they did, and it really worked out great. They did it exactly as I intended it to be done, where you're joining rather than, and they got a room. They joined the gladiators, and the gladiators gave them a room in the dungeon. So it's that kind of a level. It's an active level, and people are in the corridors all the time, and it's that kind of it's alive, and it's very different than a lot of the other places in the castle. So,
did anybody become a greater zombie?
Nobody did become a greater zombie.
Good for them.
Yeah, the greater zombie is a new monster. If you die in the castle and you fail your constitution roll, if you're resurrected, you become a greater zombie. Yeah, Stephen knows this module well, because he is the person that I paid so handsomely to edit it.
Yeah, so, a little insider info there. Yeah.
And he did have to pay me to read it. I'll tell you that. I'm kidding.
No, it was
really cool.
There was a lot of back and forth on it, but that's going to be on Backer Kit next week as part of their Mega Dungeon month. So
and
of course,
perfect.
There's also going to be not Castle Archmage, Castle Zagig. Volume 2 is also going to be doing there, and there's a bunch of other Mega Dungeon stuff that's happening that month. It's going to be a big event. And I'm going all in on Castle Zagig, of course, because this is what I've wanted since 1983. So pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those are, and that's for the second week of April.
April 7th, I think, is when it starts.
It's like a Tuesday, I think,
or the 9th or something. Let me get the. I think it's the 9th. I think it's next Tuesday is when it opens up.
Yeah, generally. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. Good luck on that.
This is the Vaulted Halls of Night is the name of it.
And the environmental effects in this, I'm a fan of. Joe he always puts creativity into his modules, but this what he put in here came at me from angles I wasn't expecting. And I think there was even one time I was like, that's what this thing does?
Yeah.
Well, that's different. And I was impressed, because it's a bunch.
You're talking about the pillar thing?
The pillar, yeah. Particularly the one that shoves people around. Yes, pillars shove people around. That's when I was like, I never thought of that. But yeah, he's got to. Can I tell him about just a little bit about the pillars?
Tell them.
Okay.
Please.
So it's vaulted halls of night, and there's these certain rooms in this wing of the dungeon that there's these magical pillars, and Joe doesn't give you. He leaves your imagination plenty of room to figure out what these things are, how they work, this and that. But he tells you what they do and the circumstances under which they do it. Like there's one that's kind of like a vampire pillar that's really creepy in how it operates. It's and it hits
That's when if
a
you spill, if blood is spilled within a certain radius. Yeah.
yes, and the blood starts going towards the pillar, so it's unnatural as well. Like blood shouldn't move in a
Yeah.
determined direction towards something. So there's
Hmm.
little on top of the big magical effects of what's happening when the pillars are activated, but the way he plays with sensory input, I guess, the way things are described, he hits those odd notes that make things feel unnatural, and so gets that extra creep factor in.
Yeah,
I'm a
you're
fan.
because a lot of it is also set. It's like a haunted fairyland
Yeah.
in a lot of places, and what I've done in the module, there's actually a clock. Well, not really a clock, but the fairies are in one portion of the level, and they can expand their influence depending on what happens in the rest. What happens with the players. So they'll have different effects physically and magically on the level as they expand or contract. So it's one of my favorites, honestly, for the Mad Archmage. I think it is played really well at cons, and I think it reads really well. So I'm very excited about this one, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep the Mad Archmage alive. So
Mm.
backer kit next Tuesday. Jesus, 3 days from now. Okay.
Yeah.
Time it ticks. It ticks. Yeah. And
Yeah. We
but
definitely
no,
have
it's a
to
cool
push that
module.
for sure.
People need to check that
Yeah,
thing
there's a
out.
lot of good stuff coming out in the month of April for sure. Wow.
And the art in it's pretty cool, particularly this one piece where I had to send.
Oh
Speaking
yeah.
of hot chicks that give you derangements, the rebel fairy queen in there. Maybe it was unprofessional. I don't know, but in my edits, I was like,
I
she better calm down.
your note on that page was something about her thighs, as I
Oh
recall.
man, the way the fairy queen was sitting and the thighs were just
It's
just.
and it's funny because I actually been sitting on that illustration for like 5-6 years because I was planning this a long time ago, and I commissioned that piece of art, and he got it to me, and I never ended up using it. I got another one like that that I was going to do a module about Wastry the Hopping Prophet, and I got this thing with frogs, and I paid for it. It's sitting on my hard drive. I've just never done it, and this is one of those modules that it sits forever, and then all of a sudden something clicks in my subconscious, and I'm like, okay, I got to get this out, and it just all gelled. I went in a completely different direction than I was originally intending to go, and it worked so much better than my original conception. And then so I finally get to use this piece of art that I paid for like 6 years ago. which is a nice bonus.
The Rebel Fairy Queen's a hottie, and I'm just saying thick thighs save lives, even though she's like 2 foot tall.
Yeah.
She's hundreds of years old, so she's completely legal. But them thighs, the artist did a fantastic job in making her alluring, at least.
And don't forget, there's that one room where they where they have they can have guests, the ladies in waiting, remember?
Oh, I didn't think through that. What you meant
That
by
was the whole point of that room.
oh, I was too busy minding P's and Q's, and I missed out on the Well, I guess
Yeah,
I'll just have
there's
to read it again.
some shady stuff going on here. I mean, they're fairies from the Unseelie Court. It's gonna be a bit untoward.
Oh, good point. Good point. And one of our friends in the audience is asking for a link. If you got a link
Yeah.
to where people could sign up for the backer kit, or at least follow it.
Yeah. Do you have the link for that? I'll put it in the
I am just making sure that the link I have is correct. No, that's not right. That's what I want. The teaser page. That's what I want.
That's
Yes, I shall put it in yonder private chat.
Yeah, I'll put it in there. There it is. You know, I actually searched for it and I wasn't successful.
It's
tough. Yeah, so here's the link, guys, for the backer kit. It's going live on Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. 2 days, 13 hours. So Tuesday late morning or early afternoon or whatever. That's when the whole Mega Dungeon month starts.
Yeah. When it starts.
I'm gonna guess that a bunch of people are gonna get a bunch of emails on Tuesday morning.
And this thing, so Tennessee Tabletop Tavern, good point. It's not a full Sharon Stone moment, but it could very easily become that. Now that you mentioned it, I'm imagining it and feeling kind of bad. I'm feeling kind of dirty. But for the folks that go check it out on Backer Kit, yes, this is part of his Dungeon of the Mad Archmage Mega Dungeon. But if you don't have all that and you just want to check out a cool module, you can run it just on its own, and he's got
it will run on its own fine. You
won't miss a thing.
Yeah.
Other than a bunch of other awesome adventure opportunities in his other levels, but this one, it's you could totally have a great time with it. There's so much adventure packed into that bad boy.
It is a dense module. Yeah.
I mean, it's beefy.
Some of mine are, they get kind of, they're focused on the one thing. This has got hookers and blow and the whole bit. Yeah.
What the hell?
I enjoyed editing it very much. I'm just gonna say that.
God, Steven, what an influence, huh? Yeah. Sorry,
well,
Joe.
It's that Freemason connection. Like he wanted a piece of that, and I was like, okay, well, blow in, blow out.
Tabletop Tavern. No, it is not. This is on my Castlemount Archmage.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Are you trying to beat your record for last week's?
No, we got stream? If the record would be 3.5 hours, so
you're not gonna get me for another full half hour.
Yeah.
I'm fading fast.
Gotcha. Well, it's been fun talking to you, Angelo, talking to folks in the chat. Joe, it's a treat to see you and actually talk to you in something other than email or chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
this has been a lot of fun, and thanks you guys for jumping on. Definitely, we're gonna do this every Saturday. Doesn't mean that these guys are on the hook for it every Saturday, but we'll do some type of hangout and free willy type stuff. But
I don't want to hear about your free willy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no, you know what I mean. So
I haven't seen if Angelo's wearing.
How dare you, man? But I will say, you guys, everybody in the chat, thanks so much for all the back and forth we've been doing and hanging out. And if you're not a subscriber to Greyhawk Ragnar or Stephen Clements, please go over there and do that, and vice versa. Come and subscribe to the DM and Friends and for the best content on the internets. So you guys, we're having a lot of fun. We love the hobby, and we all love you guys too. So what else can I say?
We're sensitive thugs, and we carry in our heart.
You got to do the Mirror Universe Enterprise thing.
And Joe, if I don't talk to you by Tuesday, good luck on this on your next project, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping, we got a bunch of people lined up to waiting on it. So I'm hoping we'll get, it's not a full blown Mega Dungeon, it's a side level, but I hope we'll do well with it. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Those of us that have that, your latest one, it's on the shelf back here. Be a great ad for it for sure. It's gonna be a book too, a printable. It's hard. You can get a PDF or a hard copy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So part 2. How's that? And it's already done. So that's awesome. It's one of those great things where you're not going to have to wait too long.
No. Yeah. I've seen it. It looks good. It's going to be, if you like Joe Block's products, and you're wrong if you don't, you're going to like this one.
So
I gotta use that. I need a shirt with that on it.
You can have that. It's free.
Yeah.
All right,
What was
Joe.
what was earlier on the earlier live stream, the shirt that we talked about on there? I think I made a comment.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Veterans of the Greyhawk Wars.
Yeah. I have like I might do a hat, you know, like a Greyhawk Wars veteran when CY 573 to 530 whatever. Yeah, something like that. That might be fun.
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Go with the other hats I sell.
Oh, Brass Monkey calling us out. Trying to do your show in under 3 hours as a Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah. We got 20 seconds,
Okay.
guys. 20
We gotta
seconds
go.
is what I'm seeing here. Well, yeah, thank you everybody for joining in.
Thanks.
And yeah, it's been a pleasure hanging out, guys. And
Thanks for having me on, man.
by the way,
Good seeing you.
happy Easter, everyone. Tomorrow is
Easter Eve.
Officially Easter here.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah, it's 2 more hours over here, but all right, we officially are now at 3 hours. All right, we can sign off.
Thank God.
All right,
Catch you
everybody.
later.
God bless. Take care. Game on.